What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of African Frame Podcast. Why am I introducing this episode? Is because I've been hounding these guys for weeks to talk about this friggin' movie. Oh my god. We are going to be discussing today. Months is weeks. Anyway, I've been hounding them for a long time to talk about this locally produced South African banger of an action movie, Heart of the Hunter. I don't know why we're not talking about this movie as South Africans. But anyway, before we get into it, I just want to introduce myself. Who am I? I'm Buckmeister Cool from Meister Geek Media and Buckmeister Cool Reacts. Those are my two YouTube channels. I have a series on Webtoons called Black Panther vs. Kang. You can check it out. There's 6 issues. It's free. I also have 2 other series on there. I've got Black Fist and I've got Neon Wave. You can go check those out for free and everything. Buckmaster Cool on all of my other social medias. Recast T'Challa campaign. Please go check that out. Speaking of Recast T'Challa campaign, Bonko Khoza. If you ever watch this, bro, if you ever watch this thing, if ever somehow, because you've liked some of my posts on Twitter, I know, I've seen it. You've liked some of my posts on Twitter. Just make a video, put yourself in a Black Panther costume, and just say some lines and see what happens. Just see.
Put it out there and see what the universe does.
Just say Ibambe one time. You say it properly.
Shout out to Bongo because it's quite versatile. I mean, this guy has been on The Wife. Then he did
he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah, Keeping Up with the Khumalos. No, something I forgot, the Mabasos or something with Mandla and came out I think late last year. And then he's doing this, and you can see that those are 2 different characters. Like all these characters that I've mentioned for so far, they're nothing alike. And I mean, he's very articulate, and a lot of people actually didn't even know that he was that articulate when he was doing The Wife because he spoke mostly Zulu. So he's a brilliant actor. Let's not lie. He has the physique, the charm. He has the right package for a superhero. So I am in agreement with Buckmeister. But sorry, Buck, sorry to disturb your intro. Please continue.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, this is African Frame. What does African Frame do? They break down movies, they break down movie trailers, we get movie commentary and all of that stuff. So if you are a cinephile, please like, share, subscribe, hit the noties. These guys know what they're talking about. Okay? Okay. But anyway, and last note on Bonko Khoza and whatever. Even if you don't do Black Panther, my G, even you should. You kill it. Like honestly, he'd murder it. Like it would not even like they'd have to put him next to Chadwick, Ibile. And you know South Africans were gonna spice it up in Yana and we're gonna try and but anyway, he'd murk it. Please, Bonko Khoza, do something with T'Challa. Please try. Just hit your agent up, dog. It's fine. But anyway, yes, getting into this movie. So this movie opens up with I gotta say that the action was actually pretty solid in this. You know, as South Africans, we've seen productions with our action scenes, and
it's mediocre at best. All right, before you dive deep into it, I just want to say a few things about this. So this is actually based on a novel by Deon Meyer. So Deon Meyer wrote the novel. And they also, sorry, I'm not quite sure if it's male or female, but Deon also wrote the film along with Willem Grobler. So this came out on the 29th of March, 2024. It has a running time of 1 hour, 47 minutes and 37 seconds. It had a budget of 2 million and it made 4.78 million. So they doubled.
Damn, they should have made more. But also
I think the marketing was an issue because I mean I didn't even hear of this until you mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that was so freaking sad. Oh my god. The only reason I heard about this is because I was looking up South African actors in my tirades to try and find South African actors to be T'Challa. Yeah. And then I came across this guy, and then I came across the movie. I luckily managed to catch it kind of at the time. But like no one was talking about this film the way they should have, and it was just freaking ridiculous.
Right.
Because I was just like, we've been complaining about movies and South African movies, and like Zuko Shout out to Zuko. He should be here to talk about this thing. But because also the main character's name is Zuko.
I see what you did. I see what you did.
That's
I
an
see what you
opportunity
did.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So like Zuko said this in one of our other podcasts where he's like, one of the problems with South African movies or films or even TV series is that everything is scenes. It's not a movie. So it just goes scene, 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 end. Like nothing feels like it's connecting or there's a through line or like you don't feel like it's a cohesive project. There's a lot of South African movies that are like this.
But also to add on what you also said is that most of these movies get people who have been working in soapies for too long, to such an extent that they don't even extend themselves or challenge themselves when they're doing film. They just seem tired, uninterested because they've been on set for hours and hours. So they're just giving you the same character that they've been playing on the soapy or whatever. But before we continue, Rob, have you done the stuff that you normally do? Have you written something for us? Do you want us? Do you want to take this?
No.
Okay, cool.
I've got a simplistic one, but not a deep one. No.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I'm just trying to figure out
movie,
how we're doing this since we
I
have
think
about
we'll just do it like,
true.
We'll just go act one, and then do you guys want me to do something like that at least? Just so we can know the parts.
Whatever you're comfortable.
Yeah,
whatever you're comfortable.
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable.
Oh, you guys want to do it?
I do like your.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if we can do it the way you, I mean, kind of do it. I mean, because we just gave a lot of preamble right now. So if you could do it the way you kind of do it, I mean, it doesn't have to be in depth because I remember most of the movie anyway. But yeah, if we can go act by act, I think that'd be great.
Well, I wouldn't mind going by action scenes, or rather, let's just go act by act. Okay, cool. Of course, the opening is, of course, the fantastic action scene, or assassination, rather. Let's put it like that. Brilliant choreography. I mean, this man's spins are fantastic, by the way. Like, they stood out to me. Like, that was some Jean-Claude Van Damme type-ish. And so yeah, I can understand why you wanted to do Black Panther. So just right off the bat, visually stunning opening as well. Nice night lighting. And the
it's a good looking movie. It's a good looking movie. Like for $2 million, for a 2 million rand budget, they did some things.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the scenery shots are like so
absolutely.
Shout out to the DP.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, it starts with assassination, and then it's very Born Identity. Because Born has the same
100%. 100%.
But we don't know why he quits. Basically, he quits there. I believe he quits right then, right? And then he's like, then we don't know why, and then it skips ahead, and then it shows to the bad guys, who I'm just gonna call them Team Evil.
Wait, didn't he wake up? Didn't he wake up to what seemed like he was dreaming? Even though you know how they like doing like a sort of like a backstory thing, but then at the same time it seems like it was someone's dream, as if they were reliving that moment.
Yes, they did. Yeah. And they did like a little, I think they call it a bait and switch, where you see them inside the house, and then you see it. Then soon after, you see a bunch of bad guys coming in, and you're like, they're coming to get him, and then it's nice and tense. Nice build up, by the way, very good. So yeah, he's meeting his wife, who, by the way, is her name is, I've actually met her. My sister was doing a movie, and she was actually one of the main actors. So pretty cool lady, actually, talented.
Yeah, I mean, she was on Scandal for a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't it so weird to see Thandeka just be like a good person?
Yeah.
But if you guys remember, Thandeka, even in Scandal, initially she was a good person before they changed the character. Kind of like Nicole in Days of Our Lives. Yeah. But also, I just want to say something, Rob. I don't know if you have seen, there was a monologue that she did about June 16 or something like that. And it brought her to tears and us to tears as we were watching it. It was televised. You know, these sort of like theater type things that they did.
Like that's another thing that I love about this movie, that I wish, that's why I want people to talk about it more. And it just frustrates me that South African media, like South African movie reviewers that I've seen, and like just in general, media just did not give this movie what they were supposed to. If you look at some of these actors who are coming from soapies, what they're doing in this, it just proves that like they're just tired. It's not that they're
Agreed.
bad. It's just that they're tired when they're doing the soapy things. But because what they bring here, there's a lot of actors here that are from soapies, but what they bring here, you would swear, like if I told you that Connie Ferguson gives one of the best performances she has ever given in anything in this, and you compared it to what she was doing in Generations, you'd be like, I don't believe you. Because
But also,
Connie,
I
what
think
she's doing here, oh my
someone said
God.
something profound. Actually, I think I'll send you guys the thing because this way Rob is probably gonna be like, yeah, in your face. So they were just basically just talking about that whole thing about Denzel acting the same, which is I'm on that camp, and Rob is so on like Denzel is awesome, and I'm like, yeah, he's awesome, but he's overrated. So Amber, who I hope will join us in the near future, because I've been talking to him about, being a guest. He says that look, the reason you see some actors behaving the way they behave in the movies, it's not their fault, it's the director's fault. The director sees them behaving or acting a certain way. They look at that and they want that into the movie. They don't want to challenge the actors. They're not asking the actors to do anything different or unique. They're like, you see what we saw there, bring it here, and sometimes that's a problem.
It can also be the solution. I mean, again, David Fincher, Panic Room is Forrest Whitaker plays a very Forrest Whitaker type person, but with
Yes.
the tension of that movie and the decisions that he makes, it fits.
Right.
You know what I mean? It fits
Right.
perfectly. And I
Right.
think playing yourself can work. Brad Pitt often plays himself. Like if you actually think about Brad
9 out of 10 times plays
yeah,
himself.
he plays himself, with the exception of maybe
Clooney,
12
same
Monkeys.
thing.
Yeah, 12 Monkeys, maybe Burn After Reading, and I wouldn't add Bullet Train. I think
Troy. That's not Brad Pitt.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not.
I would say
I don't think Brad Pitt would be like out there just screaming Hector in the streets.
oh no, have you not seen his jackass face? No.
Oh, okay.
Where he hung out with Jackass. That's a real thing, by the way.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway, yeah, there's a thing to that where like the director is what makes a movie, dude.
Yes.
Director
And Glorious Bastards. That was not Brad Pitt, but yeah. Yeah.
What's it? Gory Army. So
Incarg gnarly. Yeah.
But anyway, going back to the movie, let us also shout out another actor I've actually met as well. Our villain, who is
oh, the guy who played him, Tima.
Mr. Hanna.
Yes.
I think it's I'll tell you just now.
Yo, these pictures are small. I can't see these actors' faces.
Sisanda Henna.
There we go.
This is a brilliant actor. He was actually on Cha-Cha, the series, if you guys remember Cha-Cha. He's married to Bonnie Hanna. You guys should be familiar with Bonnie Hanna. I think he was also on Reika, the series that came out, I think, last year or the year before. And I mean, he's been doing a lot of great stuff. He moved to Los Angeles in 2007 to pursue work in Hollywood.
Oh.
And then he did Inconceivable in 2020. And then he did something called.
Is he still married? Are they still married?
I'm not sure. I think I'm not sure about that. But I mean, it seems like he was somehow involved in Invictus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really, Invictus?
What yeah, apparently he was
the bodyguard, right?
No, he was a runner, PA, coordinator, assistant director, and then producer.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry. I'm just reading some of the stuff he's done behind the scenes. But yeah, they do say he was on. He was
well, anyway,
a trainee producer. He was a trainee producer.
Anyway, this guy needs to be in more things. He plays a wonderful villain.
Yeah, he does. I mean, there's a specific scene that I was like, why is this in this movie? But we'll talk about it. I'm like, why am I watching Die Hard 2? Why am I watching Die Hard 2 here? What's going on?
But anyway, yeah. But I'm saying he did a great job. I think his performance is amazing, but I think the writing kind of undercuts some of his villainy in this movie. If I'm being a fair critic of the movie, because he could have had more stuff to do. because he kind of just plays like a dude in a chair, but he plays it well.
See, I think there's a way. I think you can play a dude in a chair well. I don't think you have to move around a lot. There's ways where you can make that work. Trying to think of some good examples.
But I just think I think his involvement in the plot is too deep for him to just be a dude in a chair, if you get what I'm saying.
I can understand what you're saying.
You know, there are movies where there's a villain, but the sub boss has more weight than the villain.
Yeah, Star Wars.
I mean, Star Wars is a perfect example, but I feel like even here, this guy is way too powerful for him to be dealing with the main character, if that makes sense. And I feel like sometimes it just felt like he was just regurgitating lines from a page, but that's not his fault. I just think that his performance was too much for this movie, if that makes sense.
It does, but I actually would go at a different angle with it. I think the mistake here was, number one, it had more to do with the writing, I think. And I think the problem is
the writing of his lines.
Yes. For example, I think the idea of him putting pressure on Connie Ferguson's character, because she takes a lot of L's.
Her name is Mo, yeah.
Yes, Mo.
Her name is Mo in the movie.
She takes a lot of L's in the storyline, right? And she's under pressure from both sides.
Yes.
Pressure to catch him, pressure to him. I think there's an angle here that could have been just a little bit better, that would have made this movie honestly like Tootsie level. That was
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I think it's Rob. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm back. Did I shut down? Because you guys were quiet.
Yeah, you shut down.
Yeah. Okay.
I was saying that this thing could have been Tootsie level quality if there was just a few tweaks in terms of the writing of him. But otherwise, I do think the idea of him being this like exec, doing all these like fancy things actually kind of worked really nicely. And I think if this had been a 20 million rand movie, it would have been we would have really seen it even better. But otherwise, I think for 2 million rand, this looks fantastic. If it had been 20 and they put more on him, even better. But yeah.
I think it would have been longer if it was 20.
Yeah, but not just longer, but I think it would have just been more absorbent.
I think the time is perfect. I think they get in and out as they're supposed to. But there's a couple of issues in the writing that could have been tweaked a little bit more. I just think that, and also the organization stuff, especially if this is supposed to be like an organization of like secret assassins, I feel like the scope would have been a lot bigger had they had a bigger budget, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But again, for 2 million, this is a flippin' masterpiece. This is Godzilla, Godzilla Zero. But anyway, back to the storyline itself. We are seeing Connie and the main villain having their conversation. We see him putting Connie, what's a Mo? You said Mo.
Yeah, Mo.
Oh, under pressure. And we see him living this exuberant life. Her being, him shirtless, her all in a full-on suit. It gives a contrast, which is nice. In terms of theme and ideas, it's a very clever thing that they're doing there to really show. You know what I mean? She's under pressure. Her hair is tied. Her clothes are tight. And he's full on half naked, chilling, living his best life. I like that. While the pressure, on the other hand, is, meanwhile, you cut to the guns, and this man had just been waking up. I wonder if there's a message there where the main character's shirtless and this guy is shirtless. Because remember it cuts with him bathing, and then it cuts away to...
I mean, look, to answer your question, I didn't even think about it until you mentioned it now. It seems like they were intentionally making it seem like they're two sides of the same coin. I'll mention why I'm saying that, because there's a specific scene near the end where they are having a certain discussion, and I realized that no, these two people are meant to be two sides of the same coin. Yeah.
So I think they did a lot with a little.
Or maybe not two sides of the same coin, but more like foils.
Foils. Yeah. Foils.
Yeah, I
think foils is the better.
Because if you look at Zuko is trying to live a quiet life.
Yes.
He doesn't want to, he's this dude who's badass and he's got all of these skills or whatever, and he can do all of these crazy things, but he's Like there's a guy that he's working for. We just see him for like 2 seconds or whatever. But you're just like, if Zuko wanted, he could take over that entire company like in a month or whatever if he wanted. But
Yeah.
like Zuko just wants to fix bikes and go home to his wife and go home to his kid and whatever. And then you get Ntima, who's like the main villain of this thing, and this guy is all about excess. He's all about exuberance. He's all about like he's
greedy.
always eating something fancy.
Yeah.
He's always he's always got like, unlike Zuko who's trying to settle down with one woman, this guy has like 6, 7 of them plastered across the house. So they
Foiled
kind of
is-
like
is the right-
foils to
is
each
the-
other.
Is the right word, yeah.
But yeah, we
Yeah,
cut
but
to
anyway.
the SWAT team coming in. It's very clean operation type vibes. The guns look good. Then we get
The
our
people also look good as well. Like the extras do their job as well. They look like a competent force. It's not like just a bunch of people rolling in holding guns, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, look, this guy who plays Tiger, I mean, his name is Tim Theron. I don't know if he's related to Charlize, but he does a decent job because he basically plays like the main adversary for a lot of characters, actually.
yeah,
He's
They-
like the muscle.
which is a tricky thing. I feel like there's a. We'll get into it. We'll get into that later. For now, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna put a pin on that. But yes, I do think he does a great job. But there's something I want to add to that. But anyway, we see him. He comes in there, and then it turns out they break in. They do the whole breach thing, and it turns out it's a red herring. It was a fake out. The person he's fighting is actually someone else. And then we get this great fight scene between him and the two guys, and then the bad guy gets shot. And we all
That's the thing. Like whoever's the action coordinator for this, like just keep doing more action movies. I think that's like another thing the South African market is missing. Like we're so used to American action movies. This felt different. Like it's doing a lot of action tropes, yes.
Yeah.
But this it felt like it had a different flavor, if you get what I'm saying. Like it
Yeah.
it didn't, like we're seeing the same thing but in a different way. And I think that maybe that's something that we need where's the South African Statham? You know, the taxi driver.
And you know what? It could work because there are two things we love. It's comedy and action. So it does feel almost underrepresented. In fact, have you seen some of these like Facebook movies that like guys in the street are making, like in like Nigeria, and some of them I think are here as well, where it's just like these quick like skinny guys fighting, and it looks good actually. It looks
Oh
surprising.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I think it's those Nigerian kids that move like Jackie Chan and Jet Li and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn. And you know what? It actually has views. It has attention, but we're just not there yet for some reason. And it's not like there's not karate schools in South Africa. So, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, yeah, they need to, okay, we're gonna get into things that we don't need to get into. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Okay, so we finally, once we figure out the whole red herring thing that, it's not the guy, we realize we cut back to the house.
I wonder if they just got a stunt man because that dude looks like Bonko Khoza, bro. Like,
Yeah. It was a good,
Mm.
it was a very good.
Make him T'Challa if you can't get Bonko.
But yeah, we meet the main character and the stepson or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
And they have like a moment where it's like, oh, I heard, you don't want me to hurt people, something like that. Like, it sets up the themes, I think, quite nicely.
Yeah, and also the kid's not bad.
no,
I don't think the kid did a bad job as well. And I think that's like very hard to do with like, child actors to get like, good solid performances out of them that cohesive to the story. So shout out to the director for that, and shout out to the child actor himself. He didn't feel annoying. It's very easy to get that kid that takes you out of the movie, but then you just got to be like, well, it's a kid, so maybe I got to give some leeway. But I didn't feel that.
And it didn't put too much pressure on him. They got him out of the way pretty quickly. So nice.
And speaking of that, I just want to say something quickly. I know it's a bit of a tangent, but what happened to kid actors, guys? Do you remember there was a time where Dakota Fanning was a thing, Haley Joel Osment was a thing,
Labor laws.
Chloe Grace Moretz was a thing.
Yeah, labor laws and Hollywood being weird.
Yeah.
I think labor
Oh,
laws
the
and
parents are
Hollywood
like,
being
nah.
weird.
Yeah, the Dan Schneiders.
No, I mean, yeah, I think after the Epstein list dropped, every parent was like, no chance.
Because
Yeah.
remember, like think about Natalie Portman's character was like legitimately smoking cigarettes within the depression.
Yeah, and she was like what, 15?
Yeah, no, she was. I think she was even younger, but I'm not sure how old she was. But yeah,
But also remember with Portman, at least her parents were supporting her the
Yes.
whole way through.
and
So
they
that
were there
helped.
at the.
They were
at
there,
the-
yeah.
Yes, they didn't just
Yeah,
drop
but
the kid
I'm
off like
saying,
it's.
but at the same time, like not a lot of parents are going to support the 14-year-old kid, whatever the director's trying to do. They're not going to be supporting their 14-year-old kid
True.
doing drugs on screen or whatever the hell. So I think now they're trying to resolve themselves to hiring younger looking, like Zendaya, basically. Like Zendaya, a whole adult, but they get her to play teenagers all the time because she has a youthful look.
Yeah,
So
like
I think
that-
they're trying to aim for stuff like that.
Yeah, they are. Also, don't forget they also added a law that says 25% of all under so and so's money goes into a trust, and no
Yes.
one can touch that money
Yeah.
until they turn into a legal adult. So
Because also, if you think about it, these momagers and these like parents that just quit their jobs to just focus on exploiting the children's talents and whatever,
because
they make life hard for the kid because the kid now becomes a breadwinner, and
Yes.
if they don't get work, now the family is screwed. So I think it helps to do stuff like that so that the parents do not exploit their children if there are such parents.
yes,
Because I know the Sprouse twins, the guys who did the Suit Life for Jack and Cody, those
Mhm.
guys. One of them was on the Diary of a CEO, and he was talking about how he felt like his mom was a narcissist because, she basically was exploiting them by using them. And imagine that's two salaries.
Yeah.
I mean, using twins, that's two salaries.
what do you call
Okay,
it?
but anyway, back to the movie. Back to the movie.
fine.
So
Yeah, sorry.
Movie. Okay,
yeah.
point is, okay, so they discuss the themes, which I believe are, a peaceful man, with, but you know what I mean. What could you say the themes are? Is a man. I almost want to say the themes are the classic. A man with rather be a farmer with a sword. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
kind of that be a warrior in a garden, then be a gardener in a
Yes.
war. There's that. But
Right.
then also there's also the theme of how, like, basically this thing tries to tell you how it's hard to, like, with Zuko's character, one of the themes is that, like, peace over violence. He doesn't want to be violent, but he's like being forced to be violent. So what he tries to instill into the kid is that rather than you hurting people, you can feed them or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, so and also unlike how Tima is making it about himself, Zuko is trying to instill into the kid community. So
Right.
it's like, I think another theme is like the power of community versus the power of self-greed and things like that. I think there's stuff like that in there, especially if you pay attention to a lot of the dialogue in
Which
this
is
thing.
so annoying about the ending, because I feel like if they stuck hard with that theme, I feel like the ending would have been different.
Okay.
But there would have been a
Mm.
twist to the ending, because I do feel like the ending is a little incongruent to
Yes.
the theme. But
Agreed.
we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. So anyway, we've set up the themes with that little conversation. Because remember, what do they call it? The cat? Try save the cat? Always
Yeah.
sets the rules of writing. And then we get our inciting incident. Because technically nothing that's happened already is our inciting incident. Our inciting incident is when Mr. Old Man, the worst human being in fiction, honestly. I hated this guy, dog.
The worst man in
dog.
fiction?
Dog.
He's not the worst man in fiction. That's
know,
a
but I
high
hate-
bar.
This nigga is trash.
I mean, he's not the greatest. Yeah, he's not the greatest because how you just show up in the middle of the blue and they're coming for us. They're coming for us. Oh, they were coming for you. I didn't do nothing.
No, but
I was at home.
later on we discover that this guy was like a father figure to this guy. So
That's even worse.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. If you're a father figure and you know that I'm living like a quiet life or whatever, if you need to contact me, please figure out a way to do it that does not get my family followed by the people who are trying to kill you.
Yeah. Imagine I just show up at your house, Kutso. We're in trouble. What do you mean? We're in trouble.
because you were involved, Rob. If
No,
you
but
and I rob
they
a bank
didn't know
today, if you and I rob a bank, Rob.
Remember, no one knew that.
No, but also, Cam, the thing is, dog, would you put Rob's family in danger just to contact him?
No, I wouldn't.
Especially
but
if you love
don't
that,
you guys
bruh.
think that this agency was gonna get to them anyway to try to get
No.
to Johnny?
Honestly, don't.
No, the thing is, Johnny Klein, if Johnny Klein didn't go to his front door and they met somewhere else, maybe they want to investigate Zuko solo dolo. Now that he was outside Zuko's house, they scan the house, they know there's a wife, or a fiance rather. They know there's a fiance, they know there's a son. They would not have been inclined to investigate further if had he met Zuko one-on-one.
Fair enough.
But this brat just comes to the house with the danger. I mean, I'm on Rob's side, low-key, because I was just like, my G, I get that you got cancer. I get that this thing is deep. I get that. But if this is your kid, surrogate kid,
Yeah, you don't
come on.
It's bigger than
Come
your
on.
family.
You just come out of nowhere to say it's bigger than my G. Yeah.
I shot you myself.
Anyway, yeah, so Johnny Klein comes knocking at the
Yes.
front door.
And then we get the flashback that explains the whole quitting thing because it turned out there was a kid there. On the,
Yeah, and Johnny was there.
Mm.
And he witnessed that guy killing.
Yeah, and was like, I'm going to need you to kill some kids, buddy. That's going to have to happen. You know those.
Oh,
kids-
not that.
Okay.
No, not that. He was just kind of like, some kids you're gonna have to Bruce Wayne some children.
Yes,
It's fine.
Yeah. They're a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Maybe we get a bunch of Batmans and you save South Africa that way.
Some
They all
Kill Bill
randomly go-
moments where you look at the kid and you're like,
they all
if you-
randomly.
if you're still raw about it, you can come and try to kill me later. type
No,
of
I
thing.
Cam. They all start going. They all start flying to Tibet somehow to learn from Tibetan monks. Come back to South Africa. I can come back to South Africa. I can astral project myself from this Tibetan monk technique that I learned.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh. Moving on.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
we get the Born Identity flashback. Remember, Born Identity did the exact same thing. Where they
Yes.
show that he didn't kill because there was a kid there, etc. So we catch up. And then he disappears. Well, he leaves. The wife gets suspicious, but it's still a normal day. We're still establishing. Again, I like the fact that it follows film conventions. We're still We're still establishing the ground of what this man lives in before we break it to pieces. So instead of the action kicking off immediately with this man coming once and then everything happening, he comes, he leaves, and then we get the family again. And we get to see the happy family. And credit's due, they are a happy family.
yeah, they have good chemistry, the three of them.
They really.
It's believable.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Connie like flipping out, and I swear to God, like I hate the ending so much, but we'll get there.
Same here.
Yeah,
Same here.
Connie's flipping out because Mo is flipping out because of the big heist, the big capture situation was a dud. They were supposed to catch this man alive. They need information. They've got nothing.
Right.
And then, of course, she's stressed out. She has to call Mr. Big Boss again to be like, hey, we failed again. And we meet the team of professional ladies around her.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Ladies are doing it. And then we cut back to Mr. Old Man.
Uh-huh.
And this time, and he, by the way, this guy has a crazy good voice, right? Like, am I the only one who's like, this man should be narrating my life? Do you know
Which
what
guy?
Yeah,
Johnny?
Does he have audio
Yeah,
books?
Johnny.
Yeah, the guy who plays Johnny Klein. Like the writing around him is kind of, but the actor did his thing. I'm not even gonna lie.
I almost want to be like, oh, what's the Batman thing? He's not the hero we need.
He's the hero we
deserve.
Yeah.
You have
No,
something
like,
in your
that's
throat?
another-
Like,
I'm
chill.
saying, like, but that's another thing, dog. I'm just trying to say that, like, some of these actors, even if you're not even acting, like, get into voice acting. Like, you got something there. Do something with it, please.
There's real money there. Like, please, yeah. So Connie, after her failure, has to approach and we watch this man abuse eggs in ways I've never seen before. Yo, I like me a poached egg, but that was physically painful to watch, dude. Yo, small pieces, and I'm like, that's only like 2 million rand budget right there. If it had been 4 million, it might have been like,
yeah, he might have had a full plate.
You know what I mean?
But kudos to the actor. I think what he also does is because the way they kind of cut it, it kind of feels like Daza just finished eating, and he's like a messy eater. So it just kind of shows that this guy does like he's so high on his own supply that he doesn't. It's kind of like
he's insatiable.
I don't know when we're going to talk about this movie, but it's kind of like how what they did with the substance and the character that Dennis Quaid was playing. This is way less disgusting though. I'm not even going to lie. But like yeah, it's kind of that thing where it's like the way he eats is kind of messy and childish.
Yes.
And it just indicates how.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
on purpose.
and I'm saying that's on purpose. Yeah, it's an artistic choice. Yes. But anyway, I'll keep going, Rob.
Yeah, I was saying, okay, screw it. No, I do wish that he could have killed someone in the scene. I know that's a bit corny, but I do kind of like the idea of like doing
unnecessary
something
killing.
scary. Like, good example being Lethal Weapon. Have you guys seen Lethal Weapon?
Which one?
I know that was the bad one.
Yet.
I think it's 1. Yeah, the South African one is 1, right?
No, it's 2.
South African. Oh, it's 2.
Yeah.
Where like they start bringing plastic behind the guy.
Yeah. Yes, that's 2.
Yeah, I wish you could have done that. We just go fetch some plastic and put it behind you just in case. Do you know what I mean? Just something that says, "Oh, okay, Connie is about to die if she doesn't play her cards right." Just make it more tense. But again, I do think the scene itself is great. I'm just saying, I just wish. But anyway, then we cut to the happy family with just the most Vietnamese scooter thing I've ever seen in my life. You know the Vietnamese, right? They like all the whole
the Vespa thing. Like
Chief, you know, I mean, if you look at the way a taxi works and you transfer it to a bike, you know.
Look, we don't know if any of this is book accurate. Perhaps those are the choices that they have to make, you know, like this guy. Yeah,
I have a feeling because look, it does a lot though. Number one, it paints the close. Can I share screen actually?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, please.
I mean, we might get a copyright strike, but who cares? Do what you gotta do, bro.
Do you think they're that intense though? Do you think that?
No, bro, just share. It's fine.
Yeah, Heart of the Hunted People. You didn't promote this movie. If you have the gall,
they didn't, and that's
like if you have the gall, like we're talking more about your movie than apparently even the actors are talking about your movie.
Exactly. I just love this because the visual is fantastic. He's still like the main guy with his suit jacket. You got the kid in the front. Being dropped off in a very empty school, but that's fine. I get a 2 million rand movie. Let's not go crazy. The fact that
and to be fair, if you like back in the day, if you got to school like really early or whatever, it'd be like 2 or 3 people at the gate. So
yeah, we'll assume
maybe they're just maybe it's just very early in the morning.
Exactly. No, that's 100% fair. I just like the fact that, again, a car wouldn't have painted a level of closeness that a scooter does, is my point. Yeah. So this is the value of props.
It actually reminds me of a movie called Life is Beautiful by Roberto Benigni. But the difference is that he actually uses a bicycle to drop off his kid and drop off his wife to work. Okay. So yeah, you're right about the whole intimacy thing.
Yeah, so it does a lot very quickly. So, and we get rid of the kid, which is always good. But yes, cool. And then, can we just say the surveillance power they have? Like that's like some Skynet.
This level of technology is impeccable. Like I can see the pixels from these.
Holy cow! The tech is shocking. But anyway,
what is this 6D? 6 HD. What's going on?
But I mean, the thing is, like, my thing is that when I look at American action movies and the tech that they have and the way they can scan whole crowds and faces,
triple zoom, Baba.
Yeah, and you know, They'll be able to tell you, dog. They'll be able to tell you, like, they'll carbon date your skin as you're walking, dog, or something. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so
Yeah.
and also, like, as a South African, don't you feel like, yeah, at least one of our movies is showing like some legitimate technology, like you know, it's movie technology, but at least you feel like, guys, at least we are moving now somehow.
I actually agree with you. I do agree with you. I do think it's nice as opposed to a guy's in a one-horse town and that's all we get to see. No, I like the fact it's futuristic. So yeah.
Some South African VFX artists were very happy to be working on this project because they had to they had their moments to shine. Guys,
break a sweat.
This is for Netflix. Yeah. We need to make it work. Hey, Masibuko, do your thing, man.
But yes. So and then still the establishment of where she works, where he works. It's all and then now we get the action back. By the way, I will say this thing. I do love the fact that they managed to keep a consistency with the energy. It's good pacing. Like we're always 100%. We're being chased constantly.
Look, I don't want to lie to you guys. This first act for me is impeccable. Like they're hitting all the right notes. Everything for me is just working like a
although shout out to one of the emptiest streets. I was just like, this is straight up action movie because you cannot drive like that in Joburg.
Oh no, taxis don't care about film lines. They'll be in the shot anyway.
Yeah.
But
anyway. But anyway, so Johnny Klein is he's like being followed or whatever. And we get a pretty decent car chase. I mean, it's not the craziest car chase I've ever seen, but it's competently shot.
It's
and
not
no. We don't get the car chase yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
He meets up with Zuko first. Yeah.
Zuko, yes. And then Zuko's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, nah, it's done, buddy.
And this is where he pissed me off. Klein, I was like, Klein, dude. I mean, if you're a whole super spy grandmaster hunter, nigga, like my guy, there's no discreet message you can't like flash. Maybe some
Morse code,
some like or like can Zuko see you like from across the street and you like wave him down and maybe Zuko can meet you in the alley somewhere.
Yeah, can you throw an envelope in a bin like everybody else and Zuko can just go and fetch it?
Something, my guy, because you're just meeting this bride. What? They just follow you everywhere. Like they ping Zuko immediately.
They were like, "Who's that guy?"
Anyway, so we have actually also I do want to shout out what Rob was saying about the woman thing. Because like it seemed very seamless to me. Like I didn't even register.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't register to me, which kudos to the writing.
Yeah. What didn't register to you?
It's one.
No, I'm saying it's diverse, but I'm saying like the thing is it didn't feel like this is girl power or girl central or whatever, if you get what I'm saying.
It's kind of like when you watch Evangelion and you realize that apart from Shinji's dad and the guy, like his second in command, Nerve is pretty much run by women. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying like when the writing is not throwing that in your face and they're just letting the characters be characters, that's kind of I always applaud that. Because I mean, it happens also in the reverse. I just think it doesn't get scrutinized as much. But in an action movie always tells you he's the guy. He's the guy. I get it. I got it. Can stop now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just show us the guy already. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yes. He's walking down the street. He's the guy. Yeah, he's just walking. Show me he's the guy. Jesus. Yeah. But anyway.
I just like that face right there. But anyway.
Bonko Khoza pulls off some amazing facial expressions in this thing.
Oh, bro,
this is why I want him for T'Challa. Imagine he's looking at Killmonger like this. Like, dog, get off my property.
It's like he's behaving like this guy owes him money or something. Not even that. Actually, he's behaving like this guy has been a deadbeat dad for 20 years. And he's like, dude, I don't want you in my life.
I came back with the milk after I'm successful. That's what he looks like. But anyway. And then, yeah, so they go through that whole thing. And then, yeah, he bounces after having screwed him over. And then, of course, she's like, okay, no, go after both of them. But first go after, and it's been a while and we haven't gotten our main guy yet. And then finally we get our combo of the guy of our, what's his name again? Theron.
Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger, yeah.
Tiger, yes. And
Theron is his real name.
I do like that they make him competent, sort of. Again, it's complicated near the end, but I do like that they make him very competent.
Yeah, I know. There's one thing at the end, and like as much as I love this movie, I couldn't excuse it. I was just like, yeah, no, that was. But anyway,
guys, the day you start seeing me wearing this cap, this hat, or whatever you call it, just know it's curtains for me, guys.
It means I've hit 60, Doug.
Guys, today when I was taking a loo, right? I accidentally, like, you know, when you tuck your t-shirt inside your pants.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was looking like a Bolo Young or Jean-Claude Van Damme in an 80s movie. I'm like, oh my God, have I reached that age already where I'm gonna be taking in my t-shirt with a belt?
Is tan your favorite color yet? Don't worry, buddy. Tan is coming, buddy. Have you started to appreciate jazz more?
Hey, dog, beats the alternative. Beats the alternative.
But anyway, we get. Oh, that's a nice shot. Yeah, we get the end of our
some good dummy work too. Yeah, like the way they shot it. It's not like some of those action movies. Like, you know, some of those action movies where they throw dummies and the dummies will just start spinning. And it's just the dummy will start cartwheeling in the air. Like, oh, I don't know if you guys remember Catwoman. You remember Catwoman?
The first one.
Halle Berry. Halle Berry Catwoman. Yeah, towards the end when she chucks the makeup villain off the thing or whatever, or the makeup villain falls, and if you just pay attention, that dummy just pinwheels through the air. And it's like, I'm supposed to believe that's a person. Like the limbs are just everywhere, and I'm like, what? Did Catwoman break her knees?
And you know, back then when the technology was really bad and they were using like animatronics and stuff, or actually that doll would petrify you back then. You know what I mean? Because there was nothing else for you to compare it with. That's all you got. And you were a kid. You're like, oh my God, this woman was really thrown off a cliff or whatever. You know?
That's all you understood.
But then, as the thing progresses, the dummies just started breakdancing in the air. So I'm just like, shout out to the dummy work here. It was actually really solid.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just want to show, okay, now, what's his face? He falls to his death. He's got nothing on him, of course, which of course proves to be another failure for Mo's character. So this is almost reminding me of what's the guy with the bullets again? On Netflix? Luke Cage. Remember, like, Luke Cage? Like, beat the villain every single fight. It's like, okay, how is this close? But like, Connie's just taking L's after L's after L's. I was starting to feel bad for her at one point. I'm like, Jesus. Like, you know,
it's like that character in One Punch Man who goes through his villain arc and whenever he meets Saitama just kicks his ass like it's nothing, dog.
You tried to mug me.
Speedo Sonica.
No, not Supersonic, man. That guy, what's his name? I think he's Bang student.
Garo, yeah.
Garo, yeah.
No, but the thing is, Garo has W's. You're thinking of Speedo Sonic because
no. I'm talking about, like, when it comes to Saitama specifically.
Okay, yes, but I know what Buck is saying. In terms of general.
But here's what I'm saying. Speedo Sonic, like what I'm saying, Speedo Sonic, unlike Garo, Speedo Sonic makes Saitama his goal. And he's always trying to box with Saitama, and Saitama just always traps him, and then leaves. and then Speedo Sonic will be like, my rival, and Saitama's like, what?
Yeah. But anyway, back to the movie. He goes back to say, dear wife. At this point, he's an idiot. But anyway, he's just like, I'm going to leave now. Not, we need to leave now. He's like, I'm going to bounce, and hopefully that'll be okay. It's not.
No, but that was not gonna
I
work.
kinda-
If he bounced with them, that was not gonna
Yeah,
work.
maybe not with them, but damn, dog. Go to
No,
your
but
Like a safe house.
I understand. Yeah, what I'm understanding from Rob is that this guy should have planned better. But to Zuko's defense, Klein just drops out of nowhere and
Yeah.
makes a bunch of amateur mistakes.
Yeah.
So maybe he wouldn't even have time to plan. Like if Klein left some clues that he was still looking for him, because the character of Zuko, he doesn't strike me as a dude who doesn't plan things. So it just feels like he was dropped in the middle of the plot. So maybe if he had more preparation beforehand, he could have prepared a safe house for his family to go to or something. He maybe thought that, yeah, because Klein in the dialogue also says they're looking at us now. So in Zuko's head from the writing, I can see that Zuko's thinking maybe they're just tracking me. Maybe they don't know
Maybe.
I have a kid and a wife, maybe. So if I disappear now, they'll stop looking into them now. And maybe I can sort this out and come back. Like it's Klein's fault because Klein is he's being very irrational. And I get it, maybe because he's panicking and he's dying, so his life's mission is about to come to nothing. So maybe that's what's making Klein act so foolish.
Today, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you're like, surprise, cancer. No, that's not how cancer works. But no, I feel you. But yeah, look at that. Lovely shot. But yes, so she gets the bad news and she like
beautiful woman and fantastic actress. Oh my God.
By the way, when I was thinking about this, are you telling me that you can't hear this guy? I mean, you guys were not so far from each other. Are you telling me that you cannot hear that this guy's just
no, but I'm saying also it's a busy street. You know, Joburg is noisy.
Yeah. That is true.
It looks like Joburg. I don't know. Maybe it's Cape Town, but I've been in the Cape Town flea markets, bro. You won't hear nothing if you're not close to the person you're talking to.
Fair enough.
At best, I think this place is that's that place called the hipster place in Joburg,
Melville.
Melville?
I don't know what I think. No, it's not an M.
No, Maboneng.
Maboneng, yes.
Yeah, Maboneng.
Because Maboneng is like hipster spot where it's actually kind of quiet, actually, and it's kind of nice, gentrified or some gentrification night.
Gentrified.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. That one.
Yeah. So maybe maybe it's quiet because it's there, but yeah. She has a wonderful scene here. I think this is probably I think this is her best scene in terms of her performance.
100%.
I think she gives her best.
No, but there's one scene where she's talking to her kid and she's just chopping the carrots, and I was like, yo, if you ever upset a black woman, that's the
she definitely killed the mother role there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is nice. By the way, this is a left-right filmmaking thing. So if you cut the line in the middle, she's on that side. Filmmakers will do this because it gives you continuity of the eyes, so you know, okay, this person's on this side, the person's on that side, so it kind of like lets you talk.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you were talking about the rule of thirds, but now I see that you're talking about the
left, right, center,
the changing of scenes and showing the.
But they do have a rule of thirds shot going on here because if you pay attention where her head lines up. Like the camera doesn't want you to focus there, but it does want you to know that she is that like
she's out of
trying
focus.
to symbolize to symbolize that she is in the back of his mind type of thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's that like that's the reason why he came there. It's kind of like it's trying to say that he wanted to say this to her face, but because he's being followed, he can't. So he's trying to get as close to her as possible.
100%.
Like it was a nice message trying to communicate how much he's in love with this woman.
Yeah.
I almost wish it wasn't in the middle of a chase. I feel like this scene probably would have done with more time, but I get it. It's pacing. But anyway, it's still a beautiful scene. But yeah. Still absolutely gorgeous. And then we get the
hey, wake up to this the washed up news guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
26 minutes in, so we're like in Act 2 at this point.
He is basically he reminds me of the character in Daredevil. You guys remember the journalist in Daredevil?
Oh, Ben Urich. Yeah.
The one who got the Kingpin treatment, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was interesting because they sort of like introduced, because for me, it's sort of like the antagonist.
The what?
Like the second main character.
No, A deuteragonist, maybe. I mean, the plot.
Or tritagonist at best.
Maybe tritagonist, because he does get an important plot line in the movie. Like, basically, his plot line is kind of what the movie revolves around.
Isn't that? And that
makes him Deus Ex. To me, he's like a Deus Ex that kind of builds up in the background and then saves everything at the end.
Right.
So maybe, but what I'm saying, Extraordinary, is that the main point of this story is about how Zuko can protect his family and just get back to his regular life. That's kind of why he's doing, like, that's plot A. The state capture stuff is a subplot, so that's why I say maybe. No, you're right. Maybe deuteragonist, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's the deuteragonist there.
All right, but anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, the chase is on. He's now the target. He's okay. So they were in Cape Town. There we go.
Oh, they were in Cape Town. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Cape Town International. There we go.
All right.
I'm assuming that's a private airport in the middle of nowhere, because there's no way Cape Town International let them shoot there.
This lady grew up quite a bit, if she's who I think she is, because I think she used to be on Inciting.
Nah, Generations, man. I was never a fan.
Yeah. And then we get a fight scene, and it was not a bad fight scene. I mean, first off and foremost, but hey, black guy, hey, dog, you're doing the most, dog. Hey, dog, you're doing the most. Like, we both, come on, dog. Like, why are you showing up for the white guy?
Like, what is going on?
It felt like he was showing out in Yana. It felt like he had, because if you look at the scene, the white dude is kind of regular. The white dude is kind of like just hands behind the wall. Hey, Daman, what's this? I gotta elbow you in your kidneys. Show me something.
Maybe I just might get an annual increase this year. Who knows?
I've heard that with Brad.
Yeah, Brad's trying to get a promotion in fit.
Yeah, when you're an extra, right? Apparently, if you say a line and they keep it in the movie, they have to pay you extra. And I feel like I'm gonna earn my pay slip right now.
No, but this guy also, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this guy. He does ads sometimes. He's like the main guy in ads. So I don't know if he's an actor as well, but he's not just. It's not just a nobody.
I'm saying even the way they're writing him, he's like doing he's getting in on this, Brian. It's just like, ish, you had to have the black dude to be the extra one, I guess. But I guess maybe just to play it safe, because if they went the other route, then everybody be like apartheid. Yeah. So I guess
exactly. There's no winning, dog.
and then we get
Yeah, so anyway,
basically he bodies them too, and it was not a bad action scene. I mean, there's some shots in it that look a little bit static, but it was not a bad action scene.
Yeah. Do you know what pisses me off sometimes about these action scenes? I miss the days where you used to spend 6 months practicing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like 6 months to a year. Yeah.
Dude, what happened to those days? What's going on? Action scenes seem to have changed a lot lately.
I think
budget and maybe budget, but I think also maybe just shooting schedules are insane.
Yes, like meeting certain deadlines that are just unrealistic. There's not enough time for you to be doing fight choreography for 6 to 8 months while you're still in SOP or.
Yeah, but then how do you get the same money? Do you know what? I'm not even talking about this. No, like the Matrix. Like Matrix.
But I'm saying even Hollywood. I'm just saying Hollywood in general. Their shooting schedules apparently are just nuts. So.
No, but remember back then, the Matrix. The budget for the Matrix was insane. Like for Reloaded.
This one. Not the first one, but the second one.
Not for the best one. Yeah, not for the best one.
The first one was 6 months. 6 months of training before Neo had a broken neck, dog.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe they were not that busy that year. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
No, but I think maybe they got them locked in, dog. Maybe that's another thing.
Yeah, because I think they could easily say we're gonna book you off, and all the other projects that you could have had, we'll just make sure that we give you the money for it or whatever. I don't know.
What I'm saying is it's a consequence, and we're being punished for it. But anyway, I think these guys did a great job. 2 million, again, 2 million budget. The stuff they did for 2 million is insane. Like, I can imagine if we doubled this, the fight scenes would be even crisper, and they're so crisp already. So that
No, I'm saying like if Bonko Khoza got 6 months to train, who knows? He might be backflipping on top of somebody or something, you know. So
You know what it's like? This is like when the teacher gives the student like a distinction, right, for the report, and they're like, you know, you could have gotten 95. I know you got 80 now, but you
Yeah,
could
you
have
got 80,
gotten
you got
95
the
if you,
pass mark.
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, again, because I think it's because we all want the best for this movie. You know what I mean? We all want the best, and we want that breakout.
Yes.
We
Yes.
all want that breakout because Hong Kong.
Like this is a movie, like this is a movie that I would be comfortable to show like American audiences or whatever, like or international audiences or British audiences or whatever, because
I
I'm
would
saying
Asia.
yeah. Yeah. Also, like I'm just saying internationally, like I would say go put this in an international cinema theater and let's see how it does or
And
whatever.
also,
And with
to
the
be
right
fair,
marketing team.
just the shot alone, what you have paused here, I mean, the lighting,
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
and you can always tell us African films. So I think this one did a good job making itself feel more international. Because normally
100%.
you can always feel it's African film, but I think this one feels more international. Fantastic shot, tracking as well.
Love that shot as well.
This is great. This is great.
Yo,
yeah,
brother, scene where he was sliding down.
yeah,
Fantastic.
dude.
Fantastic.
Again, great extra work.
This is one of my favorite scenes because yeah, also I don't know how they got all these extras in it. Maybe it's just people who are going home and they're just like, hey, we're just gonna film randos. We're just gonna film randos and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna feel natural.
World though, but yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. And then also, but I'm just saying it was so interesting to see because we always see these scenes where people put on like a cap and they put on glasses and now they're just invisible to all the tracking people. So this writing
talk about
right
stealth.
Here, but I'm saying this writing right here to use the taxi. Also, it was just the way that they made sure how strategic he is that when he knocked those two guys out, he doesn't just leave. He takes their communication devices so that he can also track the people who are tracking him. Love that. And then also how he grabs that guy's he grabs that guy's foot, guy's bucket hat, and you just hear that guy perfect extra. And then he just hides in the taxi. I thought that was so brilliant because that taxi would be the perfect place to hide from somebody because no one will be able to find you. And also, taxi drivers not about to let random policemen pull out. Like you have to have probable cause. That's their money.
Stop with guns. The taxi driver will show up with guns. It'll be very awkward.
So this is one of my favorite parts of this movie.
Yeah, no, it's tension is fantastic as well. I do 100% agree with that.
This is where one of the advantages of being black, you know certain routes, you know how to maneuver taxi ranks. I mean, this guy ended up going to wherever that taxi was taking him. He doesn't even know where it's going.
No, but I'm saying like that's the thing. Like people don't understand. Average South Africans, dog, you could be super spies, speak 6 languages, you know all the secret routes. A lot of them know how to fight. I'm just saying like this was a brilliant showcasing of like how a black dude would be able to finesse a taxi to get away from Secret Service people who don't know the taxis. If you get what I'm saying, that's
I mean, I think the only critique I have is I'm pretty sure you don't get the back seat that quickly. I think the back seat has to full first.
Oh,
100%.
No, if there's somebody in the middle seat, should be late.
No, but also it depends. It depends on your weight, right? If you are small, they could leave it some space for you there.
Space for you,
yeah.
Just for the non-South African people, we're giving you some taxi 101 rules.
And by taxi, we don't mean cab. We mean like a minibus.
Yes.
That's what we call taxis.
Yeah.
The taxi doesn't take 2 people or 3 people. It takes like 7 or 8, and some people have to sit on some people's laps depending on how full the taxi is.
And we have a formation kind of like soccer, 4-4, Maslalisane.
Yeah.
It's not 4-4-2, but it's 4-4.
Depending on the taxi, some of them might not have a floor on them, Flintstone style. That's something.
And then on top of that, you don't just pay the guy once. Basically, if you're in the front, you are the taxi man's accountant.
So you need to know something called taxi mats.
And And that can be harder than it looks. But anyway.
So yeah, and then we cut back to this. Guy, the washed-up journalist, and he finally decides to get back into the game after hearing about the Johnny Klein suicide.
Yes, because he first gets a tip-off, and the guy is like, "I don't believe you. I'm a washed-up person." And then it turns out it's real, and that converts him. And look, I get it. You said it's a 1 hour 45-minute movie. There's no time. We can't have a detailed evolution of a character where like we meet his wife or something like that. I think in terms of the time we have, this is great. This is fine. Perfectly fine. Gets the job done nice and quick.
Also, look at the lighting in the.
Can you guys just continue? I just need to do a few things. I'll be back though.
All righty.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, look at this shot, dude, and look at the lighting in this shot and the framing. I'm so impressed by the camera work in this thing,
Absolutely. Center frame thing at the top, he's in the middle like that. It's a great shot. The red lighting is fantastic. It does a lot. I think it's a beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when you get so used to soapy camera shots and like everything is so static and boring, it's amazing that they that's why I'm so sad about the South African film industry. There's so many talented people here, but they're just not getting the opportunities.
Not getting it. I mean, yeah, at this point, we all have to make our own opportunities at this point and hope we can just blow up enough. But yeah, so anyway, he figures out that it's real. So he makes making moves. And then we cut back to the office where, of course, Connie has failed for her 3rd time at this point.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they try to trace him back to the last person he may have seen, and it turns out he may know a certain politician, someone who's in charge of health or something like that. I forgot what they said, but like a health minister. Yes, I actually had it there. There we go. You can see it there.
Yeah.
The health minister, I think it was. But yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. to her because she passed. She was one of the most prolific actors. She was also in Black Panther, and everybody knows her for Hey Betuna.
Absolutely. Also fun reality.
I just want to get her name. All right, but you can keep talking.
Fun reality is I like how they've been setting up shots of these three ladies. Mo, Connie Ferguson's character, and these 2 ladies over here. Without having them really talk, it's been a quiet setup for us to actually pay attention to them. I think. Did they need dialogue?
Connie Chume. R.I.P. Connie Chume. Yeah. She was a fantastic actress. But anyway, sorry, you were saying?
The idea of giving these 3 ladies in this room kind of like this personality, because they don't really speak. They just kind of like issue orders and like act. But we get to see all 3 of them at all times because we're setting up for when it turns out something is happening. Now, most shows, what they'll do is they'll do dialogue. They'll be like, "So, man, how was your breakfast this morning?" You know what I mean? Just to establish something like that. But instead, what they've done is they've put them center frame. This is a shot all for her. And then the other lady gets a shot all for her as well. And we don't really know what it means until we know what it means. I think that's clear.
Yes.
See? It's playing on both.
Yeah.
It's setting up without actually having to tell us. It's very clever. And then finally, here's the setup, and turns out there's a reason. Turns out she's a spy. And then
one of the spies that like there's a thing that she does, and I'm just like, that was a fumble and a half. But we'll talk about it.
Anyway. We'll get there. I know exactly what. Yes. So he was like, I didn't want to be a part of this life. Blah 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 blah. But yeah. So there's a whole thing about the map being upside down. It turns out it's a secret organization thing. At first, I won't lie. The first time I didn't know what this meant. I just thought, okay, it's a picture of a map. But it's very clever. Because then this is basically the initial setup. Then they set it up again when he's talking at the petrol station. And they set up for the 3rd time in the background of the minister's house. Very clever. This movie, you can tell this movie had multiple drafts because you can always tell a movie has multiple drafts when there's multitasking in a movie. When a movie does multiple things at the same time, then okay, this has been through multiple drafts. And that's great. So yeah, quick setup there. Yeah, and then he goes on the move, and then I'm assuming this is
also we need to talk about what's the why am I forgetting the name of this guy's character? Allison is the girl, and I'm trying to just remember what's this? I'm trying to remember. I know his name is Deon something, the actual actor's name, but I'm trying to just remember his character's name or whatever. I can't believe this got 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb. IMDb, what are you doing?
Ridiculous.
What was his name? I know it's Deon. It's Deon something. Oh, Deon, Mike Bressler. There we go. Jeez. Mike Bressler. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying, shout out to their dynamic also, because they established very quickly that these people also kind of have a natural chemistry, in that she's like an assistant to him. But he's like, basically she's like his mentor, and you feel it for the little time that they have. The actors and the dialogue is good enough that you feel he can be her mentor, if you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I could say that. Definitely. I'm not going to argue with that. That's for sure. It's a little snippet. It almost adds a little bit of comic relief, almost like a break.
Yes, from all the tension. Yeah.
But it also keeps the story going. Again, multitasking, which is what you want to happen in your storyline. And then, it lasts a few minutes. And then cut to
this is the scene I'm talking about. Everybody's mom has looked at them like that, and you know you're in trouble. If your mom looks at you like this, chief, wrap it up, dog. It's over.
Hey, dog.
That is the universal South African woman is disappointed in you look.
Yep. But they have a wonderful moment.
Oh, yeah. And then this is where you got to say, man, Johnny Klein.
Oh.
Man, fuck Johnny Klein.
Yep.
Johnny, you bitch.
And then, they get picked up by the police immediately, which is not how that works. But yes, they get collected by
like this is kidnapping.
Kidnapping.
Like somebody should have been calling. Well, I mean, it's South African police, so I don't know.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just saying you can't. No government agency can just roll up in your house and pick you up without probable cause.
You know,
because she hasn't committed a crime or anything. Yeah. So for them to just come snatch her up, but to the movie's credit, they do mention that.
Yes. Well,
so,
but yes. Well, it's like, hey, these are a lot of rules we're breaking, but it's tricky when it comes to that, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But see how everyone gets a shot. 1, 2, 3. They work so hard to share the time between the three of them. It's fascinating, actually. It's like they
and also I mean, the thing is with Naledi, that's her name in the movie, Naledi. The thing is, every time you kind of see her, it's not that she's a bad spy, but there's a lot of tells, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that she does where it's just like, that's kind of an obvious thing that will break it. Like, the actress is doing enough to show that she's trying to be a part of the situation, but she is uncomfortable. So the actress is doing her job. But some of the parts of the writing is failing her a little bit, which is sad. But I'm saying, they do a good job to show that she's trying to play both sides, or the best of both worlds, or whatever. It's like there's levels to this room. Because White Lady there, I'm not sure of the actress's name, sorry. But White Lady there, you can see that she knows she has to do a job, but she's uncomfortable with how it's being done. And then you see Connie's character is like, by any means necessary. And then you see Naledi's character is just like, I have to stop this somehow, so I have to impede the situation. So it's like, it's very interesting how they played them in terms of levels of this operation. I think that was brilliant.
Yes, and I think it would, again, with more time maybe, or just, I don't say cleverness, but I would say with more trickery, there would have been ways to make her, like you said, more clever with the way she does it. Because again, I just didn't tell Connie. I just didn't tell Mo. It's like, what do you mean you didn't tell her? It's your job.
Yeah, like that. In the first time I saw it, I was just like, you should have found a better way to lie.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like, lie better.
Yeah.
Send the
or like give a misdirect, or like give a half truth or whatever. Like send them to one of the houses that they used to be at or something.
Yes. But anyway.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, and now she's in jail. Interrogation room. Oh, the tear. It's very nice.
Yeah.
She's watching it all happen, and this is when they figured out that this is the part where
but I'm saying this is also where you see the power struggle, because white women, they also, like, you can see she's uncomfortable with this. She's just like, what are we doing? Like, there's a little bit in her facial expression where she's like, this woman doesn't know anything. She's technically also a civilian. We're like breaking a lot of regulations here. And Connie's like, find something. I don't care.
I would almost say that her civilianness is a bit ambiguous, because, I mean, she also was a part of the operation with mercenaries to collect the guys. So it's like, I'm not sure how much of a civilian she is, but she clearly has a line. She has a line that's too far. And it's like, okay, but... Yeah. And it's like, I love what they're doing.
I mean, but maybe the time's not enough. I think maybe, or
there wasn't enough time to make her own, like, true person, I think. But again, great job. What we're talking about right now is the difference between 9 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? That's what we discussed.
Yes.
It's good either way. It's just, imagine if they just added a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, this movie is like, I would not have suggested this movie if it sucked, and it's a really good movie. But I'm just saying there is things that they could have done to amp it up to be an even better movie. Because I'm saying also at the same time, the reason why we're talking like this is because now this is kind of the standard and the bar, and now we know that we can do this. So the next time we do this, just think about those things, because Part of the Honda could have a sequel. This could be a trilogy. We don't know. Like,
why not, right?
It could really go somewhere.
I really think so. And again, with the dark lights, fantastic shooting the whole time. And then we get...
Where's Extraordin? This is the scene he was talking about. Rob, can you hear me?
You still there, buddy?
Yeah, okay. Oof. Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Back.
All right.
Cool, what are you saying?
Cool. I was saying, where's Extraordin? Because this is the scene he was talking about.
This is the Die Hard moment.
There he is.
You guys remember?
So first off and foremost, shout out to the movie for, not shying away. Like, maybe the middle would have liked this scene, who knows? But we get full moon.
There's something that usually happens in scenes like this, and I've always wondered what really goes on. I've seen this in a lot of series where, especially if the person who's naked is hot, right? You see the actors actually looking down on that specific area, and I'm like,
was he really like naked on set, or
were they really naked on set, or what?
There's a intimacy coordinators, and there's a system that's done. You don't just show up with nothing on.
No, I know, but it depends. It depends on the movie. I know some of them wear socks.
I'm saying like the way they shot this scene, right? What this is just and it's also just a funny moment where you get to see that this guy, his whole job is just to make Mo uncomfortable. Like, his whole job is just to is just to pressure and annoy her, because like he did not have to come out of that room naked. He did not have to step out, but he's like, because she's taking L's, I'm going to just show her full schwangeline.
That's so unnecessary, dog. Like, so unnecessary.
Oh no, I think
he has Bruz dress him. And then he has Bruz dress him afterwards. And I was like, wow.
In fact, I would have done. You know what I would have done? The whole scene. I would have had him like just with his leg up like this.
Oh God, the Captain Morgan.
Yeah, the Captain Morgan.
I'm just glad I didn't watch this with my parents. That's what I'm saying.
Because at some point you need to establish dominance.
So you just wanted him to be like, "Hey Mo, what's going on here?"
So this is a power play.
Yeah. Yes. Literally, it's a power play. I mean, the only person who's uncomfortable must be you. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
And then what's this? And then we get some backstory on her. Apparently, her dad was an Impimpi. For international audiences, it means he was just working with the apartheid regime. He was a spy. Because that's another thing that's kind of like crazy about South African politics is that a lot of I don't want to really get into real world context, but there's just a lot of people who did work with the apartheid regime. That's why it lasted as long as it did. So, a lot of those people, some of their children are in positions of power. It gets complicated. But anyway, then we also get a backstory on the character that Connie Chumi played, RIP to her, always got a shout out respect to her. Hey, Betuna. But
she's a minister, right?
She's a minister. Yeah, I think she's a minister of health or something. I can't remember what minister, but her name is Tandiwe in the movie. So Tandiwe apparently she hired illegal miners to do some work for her as well. So that's apparently like the dirt that they have on her. So they're gonna try and leverage her because her and Johnny Klein kind of created this secret society or whatever. So and also, like, to the story's credit, it does not play Johnny Klein as this clean dude as well. Like, Johnny Klein, he's also kind of going to extremes. So you get to see that on both ends here. Tandiwe went to extremes to try and get what she wanted. Johnny Klein tries to go to extremes to get what she wanted. And the collateral is people like Naledi and Zuko, which is also, I thought that was an interesting thing that they got to work into the film.
I understand what you're saying. I just personally, I don't know. It didn't feel smooth enough. Maybe I just felt that, I don't know.
No, true. I'm talking about the idea. I'm talking about the idea more than the execution. I think maybe the execution could have been more polished, but I could see the idea.
Yes. Okay. Again, I just think there was so many great ways of trapping Connie Ferguson's character. Mo, sorry, I keep doing that. I love the idea of she's technically her own important person who's following the orders of this wealthy person, while at the same time not having a way out for herself, while at the same time targeting this guy who just won't fucking die. And that causes pressure on herself separately. And it's like, okay, well, what does she do? I like that idea. And I think that's one of my favorite parts of this movie, is the idea of just like turning on her. And it kind of makes her a character, not necessarily sympathetic, but I'd say empathetic maybe. I
also wonder whether she's asking herself what her dad would do.
That would have been a cool question to ask. And like, because in a way, if you look at her reaction when they whip out the files, it seems like she's defensive of her father.
Yeah, she was easily triggered by that. She's easily triggered by that. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, is there something there? Because later on she has a bit of an eruption, and I'm like, is it tied to that? Am I missing a step here? And it's like,
it feels like there's a lot of things that are in the book that we don't see in the movie.
Probably, yeah. I think there may be something there. But again, I think in this movie, there are segments where I probably would have added 1 minute here, 1 minute here, 1 minute here, just to add. Maybe this should have been at least things. I don't want it to be a 2-hour movie, but I think it needed to be.
That's why earlier on I said what? Could have been longer.
What?
Yeah,
I said it could have been longer.
I'm saying maybe they could have also cut, they could have cut some stuff here and there. Like, for example, this scene here, with the thing. I know Rob said it was necessary, but maybe I think they could have maybe just, cut the scene in half a little bit and shave some of that time off to explore some of the other characters. Because he. Huh?
No, say it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying Like, for example, you could have him, basically he could be like in the room naked, like maybe staring at the mirror or something, and then he just turns around and then they have like the same dialogue. He gets the files handed to her and then she like kind of walks off. Because I think the other thing is part of the thing that extends this scene, and I get what they're doing, and I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that maybe that time could have been spent elsewhere, is when he gives her the monologue about her father, and he's trying to say that your hands are dirty too. I was just like, this is good dialogue and this is well acted, but we've already established that her hands are dirty. I don't think you need to re-emphasize that. So maybe cut that time in half and spend it more on Mo and explore her father's connection, maybe that way.
Right.
Maybe you could fit in a flashback. Maybe you could just have her, talk to somebody about her dad, or like in a monologue, something like that. Cut the scene in half.
I do agree this scene doesn't have to be as long as it is. Absolutely. I think again that's when I think I've discussed before, but the idea of pulp fiction is that you write a shorter story, but it's punchier with the individual scenes.
Mhm.
And I think again, naked is punchy. Do you know what I mean? So cut it in half. That nakedness is punchy enough. The pressure is punchy. The threat in and of itself is punchy. So this whole detailed thing didn't have to be there, or either that multitask and do it better. So again, still look at that face. I mean, how can you be mad? Do you know what I mean? Like, good for you. I just wish it could have been tighter. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, this guy needs to go be a supervillain, dog. Go get yourself Comic-Con money.
Yeah, man, go fight T'Challa, man. I'm sure there's Black Panther interior villains that are within Wakanda. I don't know. But yeah, see, it's still going. Okay, and then finally we get some journalist stuff. Okay, yes, the journalist with the connection to the policeman. Where he's like, things are bigger than you think. I thought it's okay. Actually, no, it's fine. I think, and no one has.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah,
but also
I wouldn't know how
that whole thing with the assistant, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you weren't sure for that. Yes.
I got the impression that the assistant was gonna be like this bigger character.
Way more important, right? Because they spent like a full minute on her, but nah. It's just a break.
The movie. The pacing is too fast and it's too compact and there's too many storylines that they were going to try and fit her in.
It's like they were just trying to use her to show how cool that other guy is.
Yes, and also to slow things down. Because you have to remember, that scene, things were like bum. So
Right.
I think what I would have done is there's a scene later where her and Mike Bressler are at the table and they're talking to Naledi or whatever. I think I would have maybe split up the questioning. Like maybe I would have split up his dialogue between those two characters to try and give some more importance to the story. That's where I probably would have added her in more or whatever. But we'll get to it. But anyway. Yeah, and then we cut to this, and now they call and they have a nice code thing, or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Because he's Mzingeli and she's I forgot what she was, her code name, but anyway.
Yes. This is a nice shot, by the way. So fun to be in South Africa.
Yes.
Great. In lighting, we discussed it before. Great use of close-ups and profile. This is profile sideways, and of course straightforward. Yeah.
Look at that dude's expression. Tell me that guy can't say Yibambe and he looks like he's gonna kill somebody.
Looking after Claw, we're thinking about Claw right there.
Yeah.
And then get the date flashback.
I don't know. This scene's cool, but again, this is another scene that I probably would have spent doing something else.
Didn't need to. Yeah.
Maybe I would have.
I think they were just trying to
added.
get
Maybe
us
I would have added in. I would have added it in the beginning, or whatever. And then maybe in this moment where he's trying to remember his family, I would have cut to like a quick 2-second, 3-second montage where they were having happy moments as a family rather than doing this whole scene.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put it in at all. I think the beginning was fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think they were just trying to get us to feel sorry for what he's going through.
Yes, that's true. But I think it's about the kid. It's about explaining his mentality to the kid. Again, it's a repeat of the themes that were already mentioned. We didn't need.
Yeah, you didn't need it again.
Yeah.
I mean, again, still a good scene.
Yes.
Still a good scene.
Oh no,
just
no
that
one's. It's just.
Yeah. That's the thing. I would just say, like, to the filmmakers, the scene is good. It's well shot. I like the composition. I like the little blurry thing to show that it's a flashback.
Mhm.
But again, like, just to keep the story tight, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have put it in.
The steak is juicy enough as it is. It doesn't need that side of fat. You can cut that out.
Yeah.
There's no need to add extra marinade to the thing. It's fine.
No need for ketchup.
Because we know that the kid likes Zuko. And we know that that he's the father figure to this kid, and we know that with the already tight.
Yeah.
And we know that Zuko is thoughtful because Zuko asks the kid before he asks the mom if he can marry her, if you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you did all this legwork already. You don't need to do it again.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
And then we move. That's a nice
Some nice scenery. Look at this.
This is probably Cape
Look at
Town.
these shots.
That is fantastic.
Is that a drone or is that a helicopter?
That's a drone, dude. It's too low for a helicopter.
But I'm saying still, like, good usage of the drone to catch that footage. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
100%.
It's very South Africa right there. And then so we get the I don't trust this lady type stuff. Yeah. Then we get just having done his journalist stuff, and we're near the halfway mark actually. So
yes, we are.
And filming conventions normally tell you what happens at the halfway mark. Something dramatic.
I like this scene as well. This scene was really good.
No, this guy really he played it very well. He played this role very well.
Yep.
Also, it's kind of like a commentary on how, like, black people in South Africa and colored people in South Africa, maybe we shouldn't, like, why do we have beef again?
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. But then again, that lady did immediately make a phone call. Just kapow!
Oh, and then, like, her white side took.
Don't do it, man. Don't go.
I'm joking. But I'm just saying, like, I think even the bra looked back at her and he was just like, really? Really? You're gonna call Baburu here? Come on.
And this is the part where they figure out that she's full of shit, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, and they arrest her. And then she gets an action scene, which wasn't bad. I just think there's a little part of it that maybe could have been smoother, but I did like how they made her scrappy. And I also like how she uses her environment. Like, they didn't just have her, one, two sidekick a dude and then he's down or whatever. And also, because I'm saying, like that's the thing. She was scrappy. Like, instead of trying to punch this dude, she bites his ear. And it's like, look, you can train as much as you like. You can't train the cartilage in your ear. If somebody gets the teeth in your ear, it's fun. Yeah. So I like that stuff.
Yeah. But yeah.
Just don't show this movie to Evander Holyfield, okay?
Yeah. Mike Tyson flashbacks.
Exactly.
I like the fact that she's barefoot, and then I'm assuming this is this African equivalent to, like, my name's Billy Bob, I'm the sheriff here. I'm assuming that's
it is. With the Black Ops guy, and then the Black Ops guys come in and they're just like, step aside, Billy Bob. This is for professionals. Or whatever, so.
Oh, poor Billy Bob.
Hey, dog. Yep.
Poor Andres in this scene, because they just tell him to stand back.
Hey, dog, and then just as a coincidence, hey, I'm here with that order of paraffin. Anyone? I think someone ordered it here. The Uber.
Yeah, that was very. I mean, look, this scene is very, like, this is when it goes full action movie, and I'm talking about, like, full Fast and Furious action movie.
Yeah, because this reminds me of
him doing a wheelie. Does it make the bike bulletproof?
Hey, dog, I'm like,
bro, the plot armor in this scene is insane. Not even one bullet, dog.
At that point, you show the name of the motorbike. Just be like, Yeah, Audi. Yeah, extra strong.
Yeah, do a wheelie and you can block bullets.
Dog. And then Mr. Parafin is just like, hey, I see you guys shooting at something. I need to go investigate. I think we can all guess whether this guy is black or white. Let me go investigate.
Yeah. It's also just like, bro, why did you come this way? Why didn't you just like, because you off-road already? I would just keep driving on the side.
And he came with...
I'm not going into the street.
Didn't slow down for a second. Oh, they're shooting.
Dog. Oh my gosh, didn't hit the brakes, nothing. Also, like, some scientists have been saying that movies need to stop doing this when you shoot a gas tank, then it explodes, because it's like, that's not how that works. Like, what it just happened is the gas will just be let outside, unless you have like an incendiary round or something that has fire in it. They're not gonna it's not gonna blow up immediately, but
it's the same thing. It looks good. It's like the cigarettes as well. I think Mythbusters tested that. Where if you drop a cigarette, it doesn't set your thing on fire. It's not.
It doesn't set the gasoline on fire, just like that.
So if you like, and then whoosh, that won't happen. But this is beautiful, by the way. That's
yeah.
This should have been the cover.
And also, I'm just saying, this should be one of the shots of the movie that they advertised it with, because Heart of the Hunter right at the bottom, and you've got this shot, brilliant. But there's also another shot in this that they should have totally used, and I'm surprised they didn't use it for the film, like to advertise the film. But anyway.
But no, we gotta give it up to the director of photography too, guys. Come on. I mean, you just pause this randomly, like almost every scene that we pause. It's a piece of art. Like, it's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
Okay. I thought you were saying something.
Oh no, wait, what I wanted to say is like Hollywood action movies have been ridiculous forever. Everybody's watched Transporter, and Transporter does way more ridiculous stuff than anything we've seen in this film. So
yeah.
Let him shoot tanks and let the tanks explode. It's fine.
Okay, and then
then we get this scene, and after he shoots, I don't know what happened. Okay, no, we'll talk about this, but Rob, can you just go back a frame? I think we just need to cover the helicopter chase. I forgot how it ends. Like he basically busts. Oh, he busts the helicopter, and then basically like the guy, Zuko shoots at the helicopter, and then he manages to get away. Okay, never mind. And then we're here, and this is one of the biggest fumbles.
This is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, it's one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest fumbles. Why did you Here's the thing, ne? Naledi, just escape on your own.
Yeah. What are you doing?
It's fine.
Because they still have the kid anyway. What are you doing?
Just let them keep the woman, because the thing is, Mo needs leverage. She's not gonna hurt the woman. I get that you want to break her out. I understand you want to break her out. I understand that this is the enemy camp, but your plan was just not good.
Wasn't it also Zuko's?
Oh my God!
Twice.
Oh God!
Twice.
Isn't this what Zuko wanted?
And also,
what do you mean?
No, it's not what Zuko wanted.
No. What I mean is, didn't Zuko wanted to leave with her?
Not like
no. Naledi doesn't discuss the plan with Zuko. Naledi just understands that she has to break this woman out of there because she's around a bunch of killers. I get the logic. My problem is that Naledi herself, this is where the writing is kind of bad in this particular section, and I gotta knock it a little bit. I'm just saying, Naledi, who's been there, who probably knows the layout of this area because she's been a spy there and doing all of this thing, she should have had a better escape route.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, I actually thought this was so bad that it actually made me hate Naledi, because I thought, okay, Naledi has clearly done something terrible here, right? Like, this was such a bad decision, and you can see later on it does affect her. But I thought, oh, okay, she's going to redeem herself by dying or something. Do you know what I mean? Like dying to save him or something like that. No, just life you know what? Yeah, we'll get there.
No, look, it's not her fault that thingy that what is her name in this movie? Can't keep pulling it. It's not the same character. I know her as Tandek. But what's this? Oh, there we go, Malime. Played by Masasa Mangeni. Yeah, fantastic actress. Malime. It's not her fault that Malime is there. Like Naledi, it's not. She didn't put her in that situation, and also. Like the thing is, Naledi is seeing that Mo is losing it more and more. Like she's becoming more and more desperate. So I can see Naledi's logic to be like, I should get her out of here. My problem with the writing is that Naledi should have, especially if she's a super spy who we just saw her break out of chains and bite a dude's ear off and axe kick a dude. Like she should have had a better exit strategy. Like maybe there should have been a thing underground. There should have been another camera. Maybe this is where the budget. Another extra who's also a spy that was working with Naledi, and then Naledi could be like, I'll cause a distraction here. You can take the wife and go. And then if you really want to kill the wife, which I really think was not necessary for the movie. Sorry, you guys are frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you frozen.
You're the one that was freezing, but we can hear you.
Oh, okay, you can hear me. Okay. Anyway. So I was saying killing the love interest was not necessary for the movie, in my opinion. I don't think they needed it. But if you have to, rather have one of Mo's people do a sniper thing, basically where they're escaping on the street and then they get sniped and the wife gets hit.
Oh yeah.
I would even say, I understand that. But the way I see it is actually kind of different in that throughout the entire movie, what is the key things they've been trying to say? Don't kill this person. Don't kill this person. Don't kill this person. They've been working hard not to kill people this whole movie. And then the one time that someone actually dies in someone like my point is Mo has not actually killed people until the later on scene.
Yes.
So I understand what you're saying. Definitely. It makes sense. I just think the movie itself hasn't justified not leaving her. You know what I mean? Like, remember when we discussed if maybe the bad guys, were more callous in killing people before, then I could be more scared for the wife character.
Oh, Malima, yeah.
We're not given a reason to be scared that she won't be fine if she's in the custody of
extra.
Yeah.
Like it feels like if she just left, they could have come back. And they could have come back.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No, I definitely. That's what I said the first time I watched it. Like I said this to myself out loud. I was like, Malime should not have gone with Naledi. Like there's just no writing that justified it. But I was just like, if they needed that to happen, I think they should have just made Naledi have a secret passageway or something, or some help somewhere. If it was just like we gotta get her out of there. Right. But again, yes, to Rob's point, these people don't seem like they're flying off the handle. They seem very mission focused. So there was no incentive for them to kill Malime.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. I also want to talk about this. You'll notice we haven't really talked about. I feel like this event would be for other movies would be the halfway point, the midpoint.
Yes.
It actually happens rather late in the thing because this is about a 45-minute movie. So for 1 hour 45 minutes, half of that is what? So that's what? God.
It's 1 hour 47 minutes, right?
Well, let's say 45 because of credits. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
15 minutes
half of
plus another 15 minutes, maybe. Let's say what? It's not 60 minutes. So it'll be what 50 minutes would be the halfway mark, I think.
But, somewhere there, yeah.
Yeah, and instead that was like him at the garage. So let me see if I can go back just to see where the 50-minute mark was.
What's half of 15?
7.5, I guess. So yeah, he's at the garage at about the 50-minute mark. It's a journalist. There's nothing really happening here. Nothing is really being achieved. Because we talk about, because me and Kutsa, for those who don't know, who are new to the show, we follow film conventions pretty thoroughly. And one of the things you learn in film conventions is at about the halfway mark is normally a key pivotal moment. And we call them midpoint highs and midpoint lows. can't really. I would say this is probably the midpoint low of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is past the hour mark. So interesting. Yeah.
Oh, I
got you.
I think that's more of a pacing issue, where maybe they just paced it wrong, maybe, and they put more.
No, maybe yeah. I mean, it's going at a breakneck pace, so maybe that's kind of what's maybe throwing it off.
Yeah. But anyway, point is, I do think this is kind of a mix between the dark heart of the soul and the. No, I wouldn't say that actually, because I think the later scene when they meet each other, one could call that the dark heart of the soul. Where the two agents meet each other. But definitely, I would say this is the halfway mark, and then that'll be the dark heart of the soul, where the final act kicks off. So we're still in act right now. Anyway, for those who care about that stuff. So yeah.
Well, anyway, she basically Naledi escapes, and it's just like, yeah, you should have just left by yourself. Oh yeah, Zuko hides the motorbike or whatever, and then then we cut to the Batman scene. Or the Black Panther scene. Oh no, we spent some time with Naledi reflecting on the fact that she flopped hardcore.
Dude, just flopped squared. And this is a nice shot. But yeah. Of course, they've screwed up again. This is like number 4, number 5. Yeah. In a 1 and a half hour movie, this is crazy. Yep. You're not supposed to be this bad at your job. Like, it's crazy. And then I think she finally breaks first. I think she's like, this is kind of going wrong. And in terms of I guess in terms of the threesome, Naledi broke first, and now she's kind of breaking second, which is isolating Connie kind of in such a unique way that you almost wonder whose movie is this? Do you know what I mean? Like, they are giving Connie almost such an interesting angle to come at. That it's absolutely fascinating. I feel like maybe, do you know what it feels like? It feels like they were like, guys, we got Connie Ferguson. This is real. Quickly, add more lines. Do you know what I mean? Give them what to do.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Something with it. It's interesting.
Because some of that in that moment, some of those parts feel improvised.
Well, the thing though. The deal, as you can see with this shot alone, how can it be improvised? The cameraman, like, there's no way, right?
Right.
The cameraman is in too much control for this to be improvised. If it is, then oh my God, these guys are geniuses. That's incredible.
Right.
Either or, it's great. It's great either way. Because there's no way you improvising. Look at this shot, dude. This is crazy.
freestyle camera work.
Right.
But yeah.
It's like they're talking. Move the camera. Hey. But anyway. He's also really good in this. The guy who's playing Mike Bressler, wow.
Yeah, no, he's owning this character. It's as if he's not even acting at all.
Yeah, he's just like, oh no, this is deeper than you think, and he's like, what the hell are you talking? Yeah, and then we get the most interesting scene, because I've
one of the most interesting scenes, because basically then she shows up at the minister's house.
Yeah,
and then we get legendary actress Connie Chume. One of R.I.P. again. Yeah, and then
we grew up watching her stuff, by the way.
Yeah. Then we get the setup of this.
Yeah, this is where we're about to get the T'Challa in the opening of Black Panther 1, where he's talking to people, of the Batman scene, basically, where it's a whole camp of people, and we're about to show how badass Zuko is. I think one thing that I don't know how I feel about it. In this thing, I think like they'll overpower Zuko and then they'll nerf him.
Yes, there's something I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
I actually think
it's not consistent.
He should have lost the final 5, but we'll get into that because we'll see what happens. I do think there's a flow issue here, 100%. But yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah. So
okay, but anyway,
he goes to the enemy base. And then they're having their discussion, and actually, there's an interesting shot somewhere here. Where is it?
What was that? Is that the Super Mario theme song?
No.
Yeah.
It's just me freestyling. Center frame, high
The
angle.
dialogue was actually good though. In this.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good. I just
It could have been. I think maybe it didn't mesh with the theme. I think it didn't mesh with the theme enough. Like I think the dialogue is very good in isolation, but I just think in terms of what they're trying to do with the theme of the movie, maybe
Right.
that's where they kind of lose it. Like I think like what this movie does sometimes, I think, is that it'll do like great things in isolation, but then it'll forget to like fuse the main idea back into the theme. I mean,
Right.
fuse back into the main idea and the main theme,
Yep.
which I mean, again, like great scene work, great camera work, great dialogue, but I just think sometimes the cohesiveness is just a little bit out of sync, if you
And
get
I
what I'm
think
saying.
that's probably the editor's fault. I feel bad for saying that. That might be the editor's fault. I'm not sure because
Maybe.
I feel like also the Christopher Nolan style intercutting over here, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, I think. But I still like you said, in isolation, some of the stuff is a masterwork. But yeah, I think that's such a good way. Well, that's great, Buck. I do think in isolation, I think you're 100% right. In isolation, if I'm just watching the scene, it's a flippin' masterpiece. I actually think you're 100% right. Oh God, actually, that's a good way of putting it, man. But yeah, so yeah, intercut and then how you get snuck up on. Okay.
No, I mean this is the scene that they're showing that like his Batman tendencies.
Yes.
But this is where I'm not gonna knock the movie. I don't know if it's a knock on the movie. I get they want to, and maybe they're just wanting to show that this Tiger guy is also one of the best. So I
Okay.
understand that.
Okay.
I really think. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Rob?
No. Say it. I want to hear this.
Oh. No, but I'm saying I really think this was the time to show him mop the floor with this guy. I think it just would have been stronger story-wise
I
had
think
Zuko been.
they were trying to make this guy like Crossbones from Captain America. They're trying to make him Frank Grillo. Like it's not hard to beat.
Okay, but now here's
no,
I think he needed to be Winter Soldier.
Sorry, it's not easy to beat. Sorry.
Yeah, but he needs to be impossible to beat. Actually,
Yeah.
We needed the final battle to be more intense because remember he gets away. Like yes, it's a close fight, but technically he loses.
No, I mean, or maybe I think maybe what should have happened rather, I think maybe is that they should have had more action with the fodder crew, I think, and maybe just had like a mini boss of some sort, just like one small mini boss. And then before this guy steps on the scene, Zuko gets away. And then you can like set up that Zuko is like super, because like the thing is, they'll have snippets of where Zuko is this unstoppable force.
Yes.
And then I get that they're supposed to like kind of humanize him a little bit. But then but like in this scene in particular, I think where the problem comes in is that when Tandi was talking about we created a weapon and all of that stuff, I kind of feel like this is where you're supposed to show him taking people out and being crazy with the martial arts. Not crazy, but like he's just super competent with what he's doing, just to support the monologue. But then when they're telling us the monologue, he's in a very even fight, and it kind of cuts the monologue a little bit in half, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, that makes perfect sense. See, you're right. That's again, like we don't want it's an inconsistency discussion we've been having. Yes, when he's beating up the fodder, like you said. In fact, they should have done more with the fodder. I agree with that. Amp up the fodder, be full Batman, let him beat up crowds if that's what it takes. Yes, absolutely. But then Mr. Boss Fight needs to be a boss fight. I feel like that's the part that's separate because he needs to be scary in the final battle.
No, I understand, but I'm saying I think they played the hand too early. When they have the boss fight here, then it loses impact in the end.
Yes, I do agree. And what's so funny is he didn't have to be in here because if I'm correct, he goes back to Connie, Mo's character anyway. So he could have just not been here for this. And then and then when he shows up, we already know he's scary. And then we fight him. Don't fight him twice. That was a mistake.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't fight him twice. Yes. In fact, you know who I always have mixed feelings about this. about when like a guy is twice a girl's size and then she wins. Ugh. But I think it should have been the chick. The chick that's always with him. This should
No, but I'm saying like the thing is rather even if you're gonna do that, like weapon her up, like let her have a lot of stuff, and then Zuko has to work his way around those weapons. I think that would have just worked out fine.
Yeah, like the lady from a police academy, the buff gun lady, make it that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give her some guns, give her some skills, and now he has to try and figure it out. Very bad Batman. Okay, I've never watched Black Panther, so I'm not okay. I mean, I've never read Black Panther, so I don't know if he does that too. But yeah, they can figure out a way around a woman on a high ground with a gun, and then that's the end of this scene. And then he fights the final guy, and we get that tension right there. Fantastic. That's perfect. But anyway, still good action. And that's so funny how, like, again, like you said, in isolation, fantastic. But when it comes to the actual filmmaking as a whole, problematic. Fantastic, man. I like that. That's great. And then, yeah. Away. And he says,
I do like this scene where he's like, am I going to need this? And you can just see the white guy like, please don't shoot me.
I don't want no smoke.
That was a weird scene where she flips out and kills the minister. This was just a weird
sense.
Yeah. This scene I would not have put it in. I would not have put it in. I just think I would have just had her leave. Because here's the problem, right? I get that she's trying to intimidate this person. And if you're trying to do an assassin thing, just have the assassins come in and take her out. Don't make Mo do it.
That's a fair
like yeah, as she walks out, maybe the house explodes, or as she walks out, maybe the bullets fly into the house and kill the minister or something. Like, you have professionals do it so that they can come clean up the mess later. Having her lose control like that, where she's not been a physical character, it just doesn't mesh.
Okay, I get what you're saying, definitely. But I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to show that she's at her low point right now. It's her breaking. This is her.
Or maybe just give her a gun then. Let her shoot the person and call it a day.
What I'm saying is the way she did it and the conversation itself, it was incoherent. The connection between her flipping out, because again, she's screwed up so many times, she's failing so many times, that when she finally flips out, to me, I understand that. But it's the execution that just, and I don't blame the actors. I just blame the dialogue and the writing. I think something's gone wrong there. And also, you'll notice in the background,
it's not terrible, but it's just like again, like you could have just made it a bit more cohesive.
That's the problem. So what do you think, buddy?
Well, there's just something that I'm thinking about that you guys haven't mentioned. Who buried the body here? Why wasn't this reported in the news? Because yes, sure.
Hence why I'm saying it should have been professionals. But anyway, keep going, Extraordinary.
She does kill her, but I'm thinking to myself, this is not realistic. I do understand that we still have to carry the movie forward, but someone at this position on this level in government, it should have blown out of proportion. They could have easily used that as a way to maybe framing Zuko, or you know what I mean? Like, if they wanted to go with that angle, they could have seen how the ramifications of killing someone like that would have caused throughout the story.
100% that could work. It could work. No, I understand.
Maybe that could have actually been the inciting incident and the catalyst.
Yeah.
And like in the beginning of the film, maybe like if you just change the order of events and they frame Zuko and then that's how they start the manhunt, might have worked better. I don't know.
It would at least give Connie a W. So that would be sure. I mean, that would be nice. I mean, Mo a W. I mean, at the beginning at least, before things fall apart. So viable angle, definitely. Also, that's the third connection. Remember the upside down? In the conversation at the petrol station is the second mention of the upside down thing, and then in the background is the upside down thing, which adds up to the number you've dialed is not available at present. Please try again later. What else is?
And also, like a nice thing about this shot, especially if you point out to the map, it shows that. One, it's also an indication of how Mo's character is kind of doing. Like, she's upside down herself and that she doesn't know left from right at this point. And like, it's to show that she also still doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Because she didn't get any information that she wanted from this scene. So I think Unless I'm reaching here, I might be a Kendrick fan here. I might be reaching.
Possibly, maybe, I don't know. It works for me.
Yo, I think my body's at 5% now. I'm still gonna be able to finish this.
Done.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
Act, buddy. We have the final act. Because remember, everything comes together when he finds out.
Yeah, they've kidnapped the kid. Yeah. So yeah, then we can. Yeah. And then basically it's just like, yeah, can you let me down here? I love this pilot because it's so realistic. He's just like, I just drop this bra off and I fly home. And I'm going home. I'm not doing nothing.
I'm happy to be alive right now. And then he goes back home and it's basically so we get the...
Well, not home. I think it's just a place. It's like a safe house. Basically, I think this network... Yeah, that's another thing. If the budget was a little bit bigger, maybe we could have gotten more deeper into the network. Yeah. But yeah, they were just working with the basut.
Yes. And then we get more of an explanation of what happened that night. I thought we already did this, but yes. And the money...
Yeah, we didn't need that again.
Yeah, how we...
yeah.
This is like, yeah. And then finally, yeah.
Yeah. And then we find out, yeah, Malime has died. And again, shout out to Bonko Khoza. He is acting his ass off in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great stuff. It's a great...
So we got,
yeah?
Yeah, man. Like, he needs to do more action stuff. They need to do more stuff with this guy.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, this is the scene that drives me crazy. I'm trying to be quick, but so there's dialogue here that is almost incongruent to the final part of the movie because you think they're setting up something which is almost Doctor Strange #1 Dormammu levels of actually would be kind of unique. But anyway, he sets up, hey, we don't have to do this. We could just leave. You know what I mean? I've got a getaway kit. You've probably got some getaway stuff too. I don't think we have to do this. And and you can see there's a later on in the moment she actually thinks about it. And you can tell, by the way, the scene starts with her completely screwed. Like, she looks flippin' broken. She looks shattered, despite the threats that she's making. She looks absolutely shattered. So she went from furious to shattered. You know what I mean? So we're like, okay, this is clearly broken to a whole nother level. And by the way, look at her face. Looking like Janet Jackson. The whole time looking fucking shattered the whole time, right? Like, this is not working. This is not happening. Every shot. And then we'll get to the end scene. Anyway, we cut to this. This is obviously setting up the...
I mean, hey, Tiger was like, ish, you know, Connie is still hot, guys. So
yeah, I got the same impression, by the way.
Absolutely.
Especially when you were saying, look, I can also make you disappear. I'm like, for what, nigga? Why are you simping right now? Leave it alone.
Why not? Right? I think at the same time, powerful woman who doesn't like strong ladies. But yeah, this is a nice little scene. There was something in the dialogue here that tweaked me. I forgot what it was. Crap, I forgot what it was. But otherwise, I like the scene anyway. I like the fact that he's so reverent.
I also like how, yeah, and I also kind of like how, again, Bonko Khoza, Jesus, great acting in the scene.
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to give off this smoldering fury, but you can still see it's still painful. Like, he hasn't locked in 100%. So when he's staring at the screen, you can see that he wants to be angry, but he's just sad that the love of his life freaking died. Trying to parkour. That's the other thing. That lady, why are you trying to get a whole ass mom to Spider-Man ninja across the gap?
Yes. But anyway, yeah, they end up coming together, and you really think. And then he's like, "I forgive you," and I'm like, "Oh no, what does he say? He doesn't say I forgive you. He says something.
He says it's not your fault."
And I'm
like, again, maybe some more time. I'm saying maybe some more time to get to that conclusion.
Yeah,
or maybe just leave. Or maybe just leave.
Everything.
I would say maybe just leave that line out.
Yes,
but I'm saying that. Yeah, I'd maybe say nothing. But the idea and the indication behind the scene is that he also knows what it takes to be this thing, and he also knows, like, you know, how hard it is to be this thing. So, and they've also, the dialogue establishes also that basically, like, he was kind of like a big brother to her of some sort or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where this thing stems from. But I think it would have just been more powerful to say nothing and then they just kind of move on with the scene.
Yeah, either that, but that and maybe play at the angle. Because remember, if I remember correctly, they're like, yeah, like you said, like brother and sister, but technically they were both mentored by the dead guy. And because she didn't have her family sacrificed, it would be a cool angle if she was more defensive of him and he was like that piece of shit. I think that would have been fun too, but I think what you're saying makes the most sense. Quiet, quick, save time, and it reveals a lot. And then you could say she sacrificed herself later on. That is what I would have done. I think your way is good, fantastic. Though I would have loved the idea of them like playing at the angle of like, but anyway, they set up the whole expose thing that's about to happen. I feel like a different movie would have had them attacked at this point.
A what?
Would have had the journalists attacked.
Which movie?
Oh, yeah.
Would have had the journalists attacked, so they have to go into hiding as well, and they have to figure out a way to like get the information out.
So I was trying to hear what you said up because you said you feel like your what movie. I didn't hear what that part.
Oh, sorry, I meant like
a different movie.
A different movie. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
would have like done, but anyway, these guys get
Maybe budget constraints again.
Yes, absolutely. With a giant spear, man with a giant spear sneaks up on him.
I kind of like this because basically what they're doing is like if you think about a hunter, even like if you go old school ancient Africa, they gotta hunt things.
Yes.
They would have to be like stealthy and sneaky and like it would basically be the equivalent of a ninja because if you're hunting out in the outback or whatever and you're trying to get food and you're trying to sneak up on these things, remember these animals also have super senses and things. So it's amazing that these people were able to catch stuff. So I'm just like, imagine taking those skills and then applying them in like a modern context, like urban warfare. It would be really interesting. So I kind of like this stuff.
Having said that, though, I do wish the outfit was better. Because like what you're saying is actually 100%.
Yeah.
I think it would have added more to the atmosphere if the atmosphere... Okay, I'm not saying he needs to show up with animal skins, like a zebra outfit. I'm not saying anything like that. But it would be nice if he wasn't just wearing a bomber jacket. Like, I think that would have been a nice touch.
But I think also it's so deliberate. You can tell that whoever wrote this it's as if they were looking at this movie as an international movie. As in even the characters themselves were international, if that makes sense.
And that's the thing though. An international movie would have said, you know what, make him more African.
No, agreed.
Yeah, even if you just like had like maybe a necklace or something like just some sort of distinguishing.
Besides the giant spear, but something more like something, like more of like an Afro coat, leopard stripe, something.
Yeah, but anyway, then okay, we hear these are the entertainment for the night with Mtima. Hey, that dude stays busy. Whew.
Dog.
The director was just really showing off here.
Hey, dog.
What is that stamina, bro? Yo, there's always 3 ladies.
Hey, man. And this.
Anyway, yeah. So.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
it's
get
a hilarious shot, also.
Yeah. Like, they all leave quietly because they're not willing to die for this nigga. This is also nice.
Of course not.
This is just nice with the whole spear right up against his neck. That's not comfortable. And
and this is the scene that shows that they're foils. So Mtima the entire time is trying to bribe this guy. And like the thing is, Zuko, he didn't want for anything. Like Zuko, the impression that I got is that if that family never moved out of that house or whatever, or even if they like moved to a farm or whatever, and it was a small patch of land and they had some goats or whatever, he would have been sharp. But Mtima just keeps trying to push opulence on the dude, and he's like, I am not the guy to play this game with. My wife died because of your little machinations and all of these things. My kid is now in a bunker somewhere. Like, I want to kill you, but I need you. So I need you to shut up before you make me lose my mind.
It's the Samwise Gamgee situation. Samwise Gamgee being the guy from Lord of the Rings, of course. Remember how the ring couldn't take him over? It's because like there's a thing where I think it's in the books or something like that, where the ring tries to show him like, okay, Samwise, you will be the hero. You will use the ring to take over the Dark Lord and you'll win. And Samwise like, nigga, I'm a gardener. What are you talking about? That's and they're like, okay, fine. I'll give you the world's biggest garden that's ever existed. Yeah, but then that would take the rest of my life looking after a giant garden. Do you know what I mean? Like it's thing like the ring can't understand.
Like you can't buy him, basically.
Yeah, it can't because it doesn't understand him. So yeah, I fully agree, man. Anyway, nice back and forth, despite the fact that there's a knife against his neck. It kind of shows a level of arrogance as well. Like this nigga's not like, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying that whole monologue that Zuko gave, that tells him where I should hang you by your entrails outside and you're a disgrace to your ancestors and all of that stuff. I was like, yo, this bro, Bonko Khoza. Oh my god.
For days.
Put him in the like dog. Oh my god. Can you imagine him talking to Thanos like that? Oh my god.
No, definitely. Especially the Thanos that destroyed his own planet. No, to be fair, he didn't destroy his own planet. He watched his own planet be destroyed. But yeah. Yeah, there it is. You are a disgrace. Yeah. It's great.
Look at their intensity, bro.
Better.
Yeah, but this guy is not moved at all by any of that.
But I'm saying, if somebody look at me like that, I'll give you whatever you want, bro. Like, you back up.
But I agree, he's not thingamajiggy by that because it's ridiculous ideas being thrown at ridiculous ideas. They're missing each other here.
Yeah, I agree.
They're missing each other.
Which makes them foils, yeah.
Yeah. But everyone understands the language of a knife to your neck, so he still makes the phone call. Yeah, so the team comes in.
This actually felt like it's a great moment.
I'm saying, like, and this scene rather, you see when she's giving, we created a weapon. This probably would have been the scene to have that dialogue, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
When he's bodying the father, I just think that's the scene that indicate. Okay, but this is stupid. I'm sorry. I can't.
It would make more sense.
I'm sorry.
The first fight. Then it would make sense. But he didn't win the first fight, so it doesn't make sense.
No, but I'm saying, like, I would have rather had Zuko ambush him and then lose the gun that way.
Yes.
But that shot is fire though. I know the scene's kind of stupid, but just take it a frame back. There, Rob.
Where we look. This one.
No. So the next shot when he comes out.
Okay. It's gonna jump ahead, so let me.
Yeah, that shot is amazing, dude. Look at that shot.
It's fantastic.
I love that shot.
Yeah.
Tell me that dude don't look like a superhero. Come on.
It's definitely a Hollywood moment type of shot there.
And then we get a fight again. The fight's good. I wouldn't have written it this way because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you should have just Indiana Jones it. Like, just shoot the guy. What are you doing?
Yeah, because I mean, even Intima says shoot him, but I'm saying at the same time, I think there was a way to do this. But when I'm looking at this fight, I understand that there was a back and forth, but I think maybe it should have been a little bit more kinetic. Maybe they should have done a little bit more like boxing things or something. But again, not a bad fight scene, and the armbar was legitimate. Like I did enjoy the armbar.
Yes. And in this scene, which pisses me off.
Yeah, this is where, like, the third act, I think when you get to the end, near the end of the third act, it's kind of like we just got to wrap up the movie. And I'm like, guys, could have done better than that.
The deaths should have been the other way around. I really think they should have been the other way around. I think...
Oh, wait, do you think that it should have been her?
Yeah.
Or
obviously not her threatening the main character, but some situation where she dies and then there's a part, or rather they trade lives. Like Mr. Mercenary is about to die, and instead of him dying and her dying, for example, let's say they threaten each other, and they're like, okay, Dumamu, I've come to bargain. You know what I mean? Like a reverse, change the story. You know what I mean? Change the tropes of everyone but the main characters dying, and then they just go their separate ways because it's clearly over. They're gonna run away. They're gonna move to Madagascar where no one can find them, and they're just gonna have. Because remember, the whole idea was, you know, I'm not a violent man. Okay, good news. There's a non-violent solution here. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get you. I think that's actually what I had in mind. I thought that's what was gonna happen until she pulled the
That's the
trigger.
main theme, is that I'm not a violent person. She's clearly been screwed. Not her, obviously. Her choices have led to thingamajiggy, have led to a disaster. So, and then Mr. Tiger has offered her a way out, and in a way to prevent bloodshed, they just go their separate ways. It's over. They give up. Everyone still wins, and you keep the main themes. I don't think everyone should have just died. This went from this high caliber thing to like this. I don't want to say SABC. No, it's the right question. Like, almost want to say like Van Damme quality ending, and I didn't want that. It didn't have to be that. Sorry, am I going too far?
I don't like her shooting in Tima. I get.
Yeah.
Because like maybe like because he's like a guy who his reach is everywhere type of thing.
Yes.
So maybe even if she wanted to escape to Madagascar, but yeah, if she shot him and walked off into the distance, I guess with Tiger Guy, and they just disappeared into the night, probably would have been a stronger ending.
It would have made more sense for the themes. You know, let's go. Then it's like, okay, let's go be farmers. You know what I mean? Because that's what. Yo, Kutsu's gone, guys. Okay, like it's over, buddy. It's over, buddy.
Anyway. I've been saying that my energy is on 5%.
Hey, dog.
Well, we at the end basically, and then we get a nice shot of them driving to a new place that Zuko managed to buy, and then him and his kid are going to live there, and then we just get a flashback of Malime, and we get to see what it would have looked like had she had survived. Which I don't know how I feel about that shot. I just think that they didn't need to kill her off. It felt very unnecessary to kill her off. But otherwise,
it felt look. I agree with you on that one. I think they were trying to Mufasa it, but it just wasn't Mufasa-ing.
They needed something big. That's the problem. They needed something big and shocking, and they didn't have it. And they were like, her dying is shocking, and it is. To be fair, it is shocking. It's just wasn't fulfilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't shock for shock's sakes. You gotta earn it. But anyway.
And I sort of blame the lady than blame more for it.
I really do. I feels like it's Naledi's fault so bad.
Yeah. Again, the situation is not Naledi's happening, but the way she handled it was not great. But anyway.
It's like you're a pro. What's happening?
Yeah, but anyway, that's the film, everybody. Again, I still give this an 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
And you can call me biased for doing that. I know because there is some writing issues, but I still think it's a solid 8 out of 10. And I think this should set the bar for South African action films. You have to be as good as this or better.
But
I'm also a 7. I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. And I think for a South African film, it is actually a 9. In terms of when you compare it to other South African films, I think this is maybe one step below Tsotsi, or I just, and again, it's not an artsy-fartsy film, so the fact that it can even be in the same league as an artsy-fartsy film is crazy, in my opinion. I think it does a great job. I just, again, with those little things, it puts it at a 7 instead of the 9. It really, it tries to be, and what's so funny is, its ambition is actually incredible. This is what I want in African filmmaking: raw ambition. And this is ambitious, guys. This is so ambitious.
This is different. It's not like those rare South African dope movies.
Yeah.
Right? I think you mentioned like a Tsotsi.
Yes.
But it's not horrible like those mediocre movies that I've been watching. I feel like it's smack in the middle where
exactly, and it's not
it's different. It's something that could be appreciated at a Cannes Film Festival, at a Sundance, and not by pretentious producers, by real cinema lovers. Like Quentin Tarantino would watch this and say, "Oh my God, dude, I love every movie. That scene where you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
it's
100%.
those
Man.
kind of projects, yeah, where
So-
Hollywood wants to do a remake type of thing.
Exactly. So a big
Like
shout out. Yeah.
Infernal Affairs, aka The Departed type of
Oh
situation.
yes, that's what this is. Like an OG Departed level quality movie. Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Or old boy. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
what it's almost feels like it is. Yeah. Big shout out to the catering guys. Seriously, they did a great.
Nah, I think this is a solid movie. I think
Yeah,
if you
fully-
have not watched it, please go check it out. And can they please talk about this movie? And yeah,
we can get
support South African cinema, guys.
some- please.
But it is almost midnight, so I think you can take us out, Mr. Extraordin.
Sure. By the way, this is a double bill. That's the only reason I'm exhausted. It has nothing to do with the movie. It's just a double bill. We recorded something earlier, so that's what's happening right now. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking us out. We truly appreciate it. This is Heart of the Hunter. It's a movie that Buckmaster has recommended for almost a year. And we finally watched it. We gave our honest opinion of it. It's a great movie. Please do check it out. Bonko Khoza is a star in the making, for sure. We hope he reaches greater heights. Yeah, do let us know if there's any other movies that you guys want us to watch or talk about. And then we shall do so. Don't forget to leave a like, hit the notification bell icon, follow Buckmaster Cool. Buck, thanks for joining us. Check out his YouTube channels. Check out Rob. He also has books out as well. Jin's War, just look at his background right there. It's a book worth reading. And if you just want to get a snippet of the voice of the narration of anything of that sort, or snippet of the actual audiobook, check out his TikTok. There are some clips over there that will give you an idea of what the book is about. So from myself, Mr. Extraordinary, Rob Sibeko, and Buckmaster Cool, we shall see you guys on the next one.
Woo!
Peace.
Peace.
And cut.
And
Ah.